bodega, alpha and omega. Siamese sailors sell celery sandwiches. Sawing-a-bada, serving platter.
Hey, Jamie?
Yes?
Did you want to try reading that line on the script there?
Oh, yeah, let's see. You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, that one?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm just not warmed up yet. Shouldn't be long. Detector test.
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive today.
The marmot mangled my mushy pork pancake.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
It's a new year, and with T-Mobile, it's not about how far apart we are. It's about how close we can be. So we're bringing out our best deal. Right now, get the iPhone 12 on us on every single plan with eligible iPhone trade-in.
So I can FaceTime with my sister in Savannah.
That's right, the iPhone 12 on us on every plan. All on America's 5G leader in coverage. T-Mobile.
With 24 monthly bill credits and a new line plus tax. If you cancel, credit stop and balance on required finance agreement may be due. Contact us for well-qualified buyers. Qualifying consumer plan required. See coverage and offer details at T-Mobile.com.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Thank you for downloading Sporgy for free on iTunes or from ChristopherMedia.net. Please make sure to rate Sporgy 5 stars on iTunes and help to tell others about Sporgy by leaving a comment. Thank you for following Sporgy on Twitter at Sporgy Podcast and on Instagram at Sporgy_podcast. Please follow Sporgy on Facebook to like and share Sporgy. You can also email the show. The address is sporgy at ChristopherMedia.net. If you would like to donate to Sporgy, you can click on the PayPal button at ChristopherMedia.net. If you use Amazon.com, please click and bookmark the Amazon link at ChristopherMedia.net. It will not cost you any extra money, and you will help to support Sporgy. If you are looking to launch your own website, please click through the HostGator banner at ChristopherMedia.net. Christopher Media uses HostGator to host all of the shows produced by the Christopher Media Network. When you click through the HostGator banner at ChristopherMedia.net and sign up for HostGator, you're helping to support Sporgy. We know that choosing the perfect gift for a man is a difficult task, but not anymore. TheBroBasket.com is here to help. We all know men are hard to shop for, but what do guys actually like? Their favorite alcohol, that's what. It could be craft beer, wine, whiskey, scotch, or tequila. TheBroBasket.com will put it in a gift basket full of their favorite gear and goodies. You can customize your own Bro Basket or choose from a variety of different Bro Baskets, like the Ultimate Import Sampler, the Jack and Coke gift set, or the Junior Executive gift basket. Boozeless, but still cool, Bro Baskets are also available. TheBroBasket.com gives you many shipping options to choose from, including rush delivery and Saturdays. 21 and over, please. State and local laws apply. Beer, wine, and liquor are not available for shipping in all states. You can help to support Christopher Media by clicking through the BroBasket.com banner at ChristopherMedia.net. Men used to be hard to shop for. TheBroBasket.com.
Welcome to Sporgy, the show that gives you half-ass sports fans giving their half-ass opinions. And now, here are your hosts.
Welcome to Sporgy number 73. I'm Chris.
I'm Rich. I am the ICEman.
And number 73. Who is number 73? Iceman, I believe you have a shitload of people.
Yeah, pick whoever your staple would be, who your top player would be. You got Michael Orr, the Blind Side movie, when he went to the Panthers, wore number 73. Joe Thomas from Browns, hell of a lineman there. Dennis Rodman when he went to the Lakers. Larry Allen on the Dallas Cowboys. I could do this all day. I mean, you really got to pick your staple and which one you want to pick for 73.
Yeah, and I got Pavel Kubina, defenseman, NHL. That's all I have. Played for Tampa, and I want to say Toronto. So, all right. Well, it is November already. Holy shit. By the time this show posts, we will have a World Series champion. It has been quite the World Series. This isn't like a year like, say, 2012, where it was lopsided. What was that year that the Texans, I forget. I don't know, it was one where the Royals were in, where they only won a game and got trounced. So that was the first World Series they were in of the back-to-back ones, wasn't it? Earl would know.
At least you're busy sending us a message on Facebook Messenger.
Squirrel!
But yeah. For two
This is the second World Series appearance for Houston. And they finally won a World Series game because in 2005 they got swept by the White Sox. So, yeah.
Back in their National League team?
Yeah.
When did they cross over?
Not that long ago. I want to say 2011, 12, somewhere around there.
I know it's officially been long enough to where it doesn't seem weird to me anymore. It seemed weird for the first few seasons, but now it seems like, all right, American League team.
It was like when the Brewers went to the National League. It took a few seasons. It was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, same thing.
But no, man, if you look back at that 2005 Houston team, they had Andy Pettitte, they had Roger Clemens, they had Fat Elvis. I mean, dude, they had some name players on that team. And with Pettitte and Clemens pitching, and you know that was 1-2 in their rotation, it's shocking that they didn't win one game of that fucking series. But then again, they did not have apparently the juice balls that they have this year. Because holy fuck, dude.
They haven't both teams come out to say, like, yeah, there's some shit different with these balls.
Well, I mean, the league admitted that they're wrapping them tighter, and they made the cork a little bit more, have a little bit more pop and shit. But I mean, this is fucking ridiculous, dude. They were flying the fuck out left and right a couple games ago, like it was nobody's business. And then that game that went into extra innings was just, I mean, I guess I get it. You know, in a world where people are cutting the cable cord and everybody's ratings are going down because people are paying less people are paying for cable. You want to get as many viewers as possible. But I mean, at a certain point, doesn't it become more of a spectacle than anything else? And on top of that, where the fuck was this during the regular season? I mean...
Why do you pick the World Series to do this? And to me, it seems like just integrity issues with the game, quite honestly. I mean, just because the league is doing it doesn't mean it's right. Am I the only one who feels like that?
Well, no, because it's in '68 when you had, Bob Gibson and Denny McLain and et cetera, just dominating, and pitching dominated that year. They didn't, in the World Series, all of a sudden lower the pitcher's mound to give the batters a better, shot at hitting during the World Series. They waited till that season was over with. They implemented the rules in the offseason, and they made the adjustments in the offseason. I wouldn't necessarily have a problem if they did this to the balls starting with spring training next year. But yeah, to throw it in the right, I mean, it seems like right as the World Series started. This didn't even seem like a playoff type thing. It was like right as the World Series started. I mean, it's kind of like, what was it, a season or two ago when they changed the overtime rule in the NHL for the regular season? It was 2 seasons ago. Dude, that rule change came in the middle of the season. Well, not the beginning of the season, but still. There had already been teams that played 5-on-5 overtime. I mean, there have been teams that it's 4-on-4 overtime. Now it's 3-on-3, and they just changed it.
Can't do that. Trust me, I wanted to change our fantasy football league to PPR, but I can't do that middle of the season. Whole new strategy. Can't change that shit in the middle.
Yeah, well, true to my word. Yeah, fuck this fantasy season.
Oh yeah. Well, join me in the basement.
I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, for now. There's still hope, though, because 4-4 will get you into playoffs, apparently, looking at the playoff bracket. There's still hope for us, Rich.
What are you talking about? Unless we combine wins, we don't even have 4 wins.
Yeah. But there's still 5 more weeks.
I got to
win out.
I got 4
win
wins.
out.
4 wins over here.
Hey, I'm just going to say this, and we'll stop the podcasting for
3.
Us and 7 other people who might be listening. I tried to make an all-out, last-ditch effort trade with a team that sucked, and that person was like, nope. And I was like, all right, well, fuck it then.
Oh, you mean me?
And then next thing I know, you go and trade all your people to Earl?
Trade all? I traded one. I traded one person.
He gave me Amir Abdullah for Carson Wentz. I don't need Carson Wentz.
What I'm saying is he's sitting here on the air, like the day before I made that trade offer, crying about, well, that's it for me in this league for fantasy football. You can't come back from as far down as I am. Well, if you're that far down the totem pole, help a brother out. No. Can't do that.
Hey, we're both sitting here with the same record, so looks like it really would have worked out.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the
Come
bitch
off Kareem Hunt, though.
No, here's the bitch of it. I offered my 4 best players for his 4 best players, but my 4 best players' points average was well under his 4 best players' points average.
Correct. That is why I said no.
Hey, Rich, I'll trade you Big Ben and Brandon Cooks for Julio Jones and a player to be named later.
Fuck you. I ain't trading shit. I'm here to play spoiler. I'm snatching up all the free agents because I'm at the top of the priority list. I'm snatching up everybody wants. Trade
deadlines today anyway.
You want all the hotness? Fuck it. I'm taking all of it. Yeah, and I'm number 1 on the priority list. I'm flipping the roster. You can have Tariq Cahoon or whatever the fuck his name is. He ain't doing shit from Chicago. That fucking 1 week wonder.
He's a passing down back. But yeah, doesn't do shit.
Anyway,
it's not PPR. But yeah, back to the World Series.
Yes. Oh Christ. Yeah, I don't get making a change like that. That's this visible of a change. This isn't just a slight adjustment to a rules or something like that, a tweaking of like what is a balk and what isn't a balk. Something that's going to be called hardly at all. This is something that's fucking noticeable. I mean, I have friends that are the most casual of baseball fans who only watch the World Series, and they're like, God damn, are they juicing again? Because they're hitting a lot of home runs. I'm like, I don't know necessarily if they're juicing, if as much as they just juice the ball. Because they already admitted earlier this season that they're experimenting with a tighter wound ball, with a more spongy core, et cetera, and all this.
Didn't they make it lighter, too?
I think they did. Now you have players coming out going, oh, yeah, these ain't the same balls we played with all season in the beginning of the playoffs. And I'm sorry, I'm going to have to take the players' word for it because they play 162 games plus the playoffs. Pretty sure they know the condition of the balls that they use. I mean, and if I drove the same car every day, all day long, and all of a sudden someone swapped it out for something that looks the same, but it ain't the same, it doesn't drive the same, doesn't handle the same, I'd have to be an idiot not to notice it. So... But I mean, whatever. It's hey, it got them what they wanted. They beat Sunday Night Football.
Well, I mean, given the teams that were playing on Sunday night, it wasn't that hard.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I get it, but I'm just saying, football has been king in the ratings for quite a while now, to the point where football was comfortable enough to name their Super Bowl retrospective series America's Game to challenge America's Pastime, the nickname for baseball. And when's the last time a World Series game beat a football game in the ratings? When's the last time, honestly, baseball beat a football game in the ratings, period? I mean,
I'm sure it's happened in the World Series before.
I don't know.
Well, you saying even last year, the Cubs being in it didn't beat out a Sunday Night Football game or two?
If it did, it was not mentioned in the news. And it was not mentioned in the articles I read about how this was like so shocking that baseball, the World Series, World Series game beat out Sunday Night Football. So it seems to me if it's happened last year, it happens every couple of years, it's not really a shocking thing then. But then again, we do live in the age of, hyperbole and reporting, so who knows?
Yeah, because I posed this question to you guys in the chat. Is all you hear is like how ratings for football are down, and every time I look up the ratings, I run into them on the interwebs. Like the NFL is like 7 of the top 10 things, like
even in the cable ratings too. So like, are ratings down, or is like TV viewership down as a whole? And like that's how they're packaging it. That's what I'm wondering.
No, I think the ratings are down. The attendance is down. I definitely think with everything that's going on with the
dude, attendance is not down. Attendance is not down. No, I just read a story about how attendance is not down.
Well, I mean, and when you get into that, the problem you're going to face is statistics. I got statistics.
There we go.
I got 6
pesky
of them.
Facts.
Exactly, but here's the thing: I got 6, facts and statistics that could disprove your facts and statistics. That's like going for expert opinion and then go to a different expert for an opinion and you get a different story.
Oh, I don't have the energy for this conversation. Let's just keep it about sports. All right.
It is about sports, I'm telling you.
Well, look, yes. I've been hearing this for the last 3-4 weeks now. I've been hearing people, and because I guess, I don't know, I enjoy watching train wrecks. I do keep an ear, not as close to it as I did at one point in my life, but I do keep an ear on the media and like forums, Facebook pages, social media groups that are strictly for people in the media, so they're always talking about ratings and this and that, and yeah, across the board television ratings are down. And there is, it basically breaks down like this. There's people who want to say the NFL ratings are down because they want to fucking point to the NFL and go, see, this is what you get for letting your players kneel and not benching them or suspending them or digging up their dead ass granny and butt fucking her back straight down into the hole in the ground or whatever the fuck they want to do. And there's people who go, I don't have an agenda. I'm just looking at the cold hard numbers, and the cold hard numbers is viewership is down across the board. And then there's people who want to fucking push an agenda of the NFL's doing the right thing by letting the players kneel and letting the players protest. And it's just the right-wing Nazis and fascists who are coming up with these numbers and say the NFL's viewership is down, when in truth, it's people have less cable, but if you went to bars and counted how many people go to sports bars or go to someone's house who have the NFL package or whatever the fuck, viewership is technically up. So, just like everything else in this world when it comes to news at this point, we have a buffet of facts that, air quotes, big motherfucking ones, facts that you can choose from. So you can choose your own reality.
That's what I was saying in a very shorter version.
Yeah, but dude, you wear your fucking reality on your sleeve, so we know what reality you're going to choose. So, I mean, that's you're going to go with fuck the NFL, so we got it. We know.
I'm not going with fuck the NFL. I'm just saying they fucking close off top bowls and put banners over it so, the TV can't show that it's fucking empty.
I mean, dude, they've been
I'm going to say attendance is down. That's all I'm saying.
They've been doing that for years, especially in Oakland. That's nothing new. That is nothing new at all. Now, if you want to talk about doing that at where? At Ford Field? I'm going to have to disagree with you. I haven't seen it, and believe me, they are, the local media is having a field day and getting a tip drip from their rock-hard cocks pointing out at the poor attendance at the Pistons and Red Wings games after the initial, hey, we opened up the new arena. I mean, they're announcing paid attendance. They're not announcing how many people came through the turnstile. That's right. How you know they're fucking. That's if they were police, that's called juking the stats. All right.
But we've talked about that before. That it's too expensive to go to a sporting event now. Hockey you might be able to get to
in certain markets, definitely.
But baseball, basketball, football, it's ridiculous how expensive.
Well, that's another thing. They're pricing themselves out of the average family being able to go to a game.
At this point, you're pricing yourself out of the average couple.
There you go. That's what I'm getting at. It's becoming more of a, hey, we'll sell batches of tickets to a corporation, or there'll be a corporate suite or whatever the fuck, and I mean, as long as they're getting paid for the tickets, they don't care if you show up. It's just like tuition at a college. You pay to go to college. If you don't show up for one class, that college does not give a fuck. In fact,
that is so true, and it is so terrible.
and in fact, once they get to a point where you haven't shown up to any classes, they get to keep your money and can let someone else transfer into the class and fill your fucking blank seat.
Yep.
So they're gonna basically collect double on that seat in that class. And if that person doesn't show up, depending on how deep into the fucking class it is, they might even be able to. It's a slim chance they can pull it off, but they might find someone dumb enough to try to pick that class up, even though they'd be that far behind, and get triple paid for that seat. They don't give a shit. That's when I heard that they announced, when I heard the announced attendance at one of the Red Wings games I was watching the other night, and then they showed the crowd. It was almost like they were showing the crowd in defiance of the not announced attendance, because it was an obvious discrepancy between the number they claimed and the visible number of people there. And it's
the Sean Spicer school.
Yeah, this wasn't like the third period, 2 minutes left, Red Wings being blown out. This was beginning of the second period. All right. I mean, that's not even halfway through the game. So but hey, look, almighty dollar. People will pay it, right? So if they couldn't get someone to show up, they couldn't charge that much, right? That's the theory. That's the free market theory, right? So, maybe what needs to happen is exactly what a lot of people are saying. Maybe their attendance needs to drop down to nothing outside of companies and corporations, but buying suites for the season, or buying a section of season tickets and giving them to their employees. Because I'm gonna tell you what, they're never gonna fill Ford Field up without fans buying tickets. Period. That's just not going to happen. So maybe that needs to happen, bring prices back down. But as long as people will show up, they're not going anywhere. And guys, be honest, how many times have prices dropped on fucking sporting events in our lifetimes?
Very, very few.
I mean, I think I can remember one time they made a big deal about the lowering of concession prices on a select group of items at Comerica Park one year. And it was literally shit that, like, most adult baseball fans probably wouldn't be spending money on. Like, how many adult, case in point, beer price wasn't going down on. It was like soft pretzels, nachos, price of hot dogs, not coming down at a fucking ballpark. You're dropping $7 for a hot dog, one hot dog at a ballpark. Seriously, think about that.
I'm going to get a hand job with that.
I mean, dude, $7. Go to Kroger, buy a pack of fucking hot dog buns. It's basically about the same quality as the ones they're serving for $1. And you can get a fucking pack of ballpark all beef franks for $5. And you can feed all, that's lunch for a 3-4 person family easily. And you can get some cheap ass mustard to throw on there and still have change left over.
Why is a $5 pizza $15?
And why is it never hot and ready?
You one or the other.
Ready or it's hot.
You don't get them both. You one or the other.
Oh Christ! But hey, man, them hot and readies are what. That's what saved Little Caesars, which in turn allowed them to fucking pump all that money into the Red Wings and then the Tigers. So we've had almost, a little bit over 20 years of good sports in this, relatively good sports in this town due to those shits, so we can't really complain too much.
That's the arena hot and ready, Bill.
Yeah, dude, it really is. It should be named, not Little Caesars Arena, Hot and Ready Arena. Where you play ice hockey at? The Hot and Ready Arena? That don't even sound right.
Yeah, I know, right? Sounds like it should be in San Francisco.
But anyways, let's double back to the World Series. Now, did you guys see? Hold on. Darvish pitching performance?
I did not, but did see him get made fun of.
I was unavailable.
All right. So, was it Yuli Gurriel apparently made a racist gesture in reference to you, Darvish? Okay, so my question is, and here, I'll send you guys the video if you haven't seen it.
Gets to keep his job because he's brown?
White guy. Suspended him for the first 5 games of next season, but he still gets to play in the World Series.
Yeah, if this was a white guy, he would be traded, or no, he'd have to be out of baseball. He could never play baseball again.
I don't know if I buy that. I don't even think he'd have been suspended for the World Series, dude. Honestly, I got my theory on it. I think this is something that baseball would have probably not given a fuck about if it wasn't for the online justice warriors. Because let's just say it, get it out in the open here. All right. Earl, did you see what he did?
I did not.
Well, I just messaged it. So
dirty knees. Look at these. That's what I'm thinking when I see that photo.
He basically put his fingers to his eyes and pulled back on his eyes. Now, here's my question. Does you Darvish's eyes look like that?
I haven't shared a romantic gaze with the man lately. I have to look him up. See a picture of him.
I mean, does his eyes look like the it's not even stereotypical.
Oh, he looks Asian.
So, stating facts is racist.
Yes.
Well, I don't think that. No, I mean I don't think it was racist, but I mean he implied to be making fun of the pitcher and whatnot, and I mean if anything it would be seen as bullying. But you know what? If you can't take a fucking joke these days, well, oh wait, no, nobody can take a fucking joke. Proceed.
Well, these are not two teams who have a historical rivalry, all right? This isn't the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Yankees of the 50s, who met in the World Series, I mean, a ridiculous amount of times. And there's, like, true hatred between these franchises. But this has been a pretty contentious World Series. From the celebration on the base paths after, hitting home runs to Yasiel Puig doing the exact opposite and hitting a home run and then calmly and very purposely laying his bat down like it was made of glass and then, strolling along the base path. So it seems like these teams just for whatever reason don't like each other and they're taking shots at each other. And I mean, apparently there's even, I don't know all the details. I just heard about this yesterday. I didn't find a whole lot about it online, so it seems this might just be a local sports reporter's take on it. But there was a local sports reporter / DJ on air yesterday talking about some of the players on the Astros even got their hair cut to basically mock some of the haircuts the guys on the Dodgers have. And it's like, okay, I guess this goes back to, so do you want your players to be like, break the plane, get in the end zone, flip the ball to the ref, and calmly jog off the field? Do you want your players to be, to celebrate? Do you want players to play head games with the other team?
Well, wouldn't you compare this to Terrell Owens standing in the middle of the star and Emmitt Smith coming and knocking the piss out of him?
Well, I don't remember Emmitt Smith knocking the piss out of him, but I remember somebody doing it. But
no, it was Emmitt Smith because then he knelt on the star and just stared at the sideline. Like, I dare one of you motherfuckers to come back to the star.
I don't know. Dude, to me, is it a childish, immature thing that he did? Yeah. Is it? I mean, did he hop? Did he hit a home run off a black pitcher, run into the locker room, slap on blackface, come out with a top hat like that little racist old CW frog, and start, hello, my darling, hello, my baby, hello, my ragtime down, and start singing, Mammy. No, he didn't. All right. So, and I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. All right. There are facts that certain races have certain features. Period. Bottom line. I mean, it's not like he did the whole pantomime, Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees, look at these, shit that kids did, back in the day in first grade or whatever. I mean, who knows what the fuck he said? You saw him making, what do you call it? I guess eye-altering gesture, right? For literally half a second. And, according to HuffPost, it's the slant-eyed gesture. I don't know if slant-eyed's exactly compassionate enough, HuffPo. I don't know. That seems pretty rude to me. I mean, what if he'd held up his index and thumb about a half inch away from each other? Would you say, he's suspended 5 games for racist Asian dick gesture? I don't think so. But whatever. I don't know, man. It's just...
Everybody's offended by everything.
I mean, and it just... It goes back to the beauty of it. How often do you hear anybody sit and go, wow, Asian people are underrepresented in the STEM fields. Asian people are underrepresented and don't have the same opportunities as those horrible straight white males, and et cetera, et cetera.
Asians just shut up and kick ass.
Yeah, exactly. You don't hear them say that because it's not fucking true. They're a tiny percentage of this country, yet they dominate numbers in the STEM fields.
That were rounded up as recent as 70 years ago.
I don't think I even get that far into it, guys. I really don't. This guy was making a joke in the dugout with his team. It's not like he charged the mound with slanted eyes and started mocking him while he was pitching.
Threw rice at him.
I'm saying. So you're in the dugout with your team, and you're like, can he even see the plate with these slanted eyes? To this team, that's fucking funny.
This is what I will say.
It maybe poor taste is what I chop that up to. 5-game suspension? Come on now.
Which, I mean, let's be honest. It's like, in the world of baseball, where they play 162 games, that's like a 2-snap suspension in the NFL. Like, the first 2 snaps, you can't play. Okay, well, gee.
That's all right.
Damn.
I had to piss anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I was late coming out of the locker room. Oh, well, it's not that big of a deal. But it's just, I don't know, man. Here's the deal. I'm not Asian, and I can't say whether it would offend me if I was, but I heard someone bring up a very good point recently, and it was, it's not that, okay, when every hack black comedian gets up and does their best, Richard Pryor / Eddie Murphy / Chris Rock impersonation or take on the white people do this, black people do that. All right. It's like every hack black comedian has that bit. All right. No white person in their right mind gets offended. They laugh and they move the fuck on. That's just what I want everybody to fucking do. All right. This isn't someone who got caught, on a cell phone camera at a bar talking about these goddamn zipperhead chink motherfuckers. Too bad we didn't finish the job in World War II and turn our entire country into a sheet of glass. Well, this isn't even fucking Andrew Dice Clay saying, didn't we drop a bomb on these fucks? What was in there? A bunch of Sony Walkman? I mean,
what was in there? Fucking fertilizer? I
mean, it wasn't even a joke along those lines to where it's like, damn, bro, I mean, personally, I laugh at the darkest of humor possible. So I'm not a good barometer to judge this by whatsoever. Like I think jokes about AIDS and death and rape and cancer are hilarious if they're good jokes. There's no subject I haven't laughed about.
Rich, what does MAGIC stand for? My ass got infected, coach.
Jesus God. Are we going back to 1991 now? Is it Magic Johnson in a wheelchair? Rolaids.
He blew a piston in Detroit?
You hear that Isaiah Thomas got AIDS? He did magic. Yeah, but anyway, I'm not a good judge of this, but I mean,
see, that's just it.
There's
dude.
a difference. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm a pretty good judge of this, and even at my best, like I said, I could chalk it up to poor taste.
As an Asian male, you're a very good judge of this. Go ahead, Earl Fitzgerald.
What the fuck, Earl Anderson? But what the fuck?
No. We're going by your maiden name, Mrs. Fitzgerald. Okay.
Whatever. Listen, it has nothing to do with me being an Asian or a white male. It's tact and taste. And like I said, at best, this is poor taste. I mean, it was, like I said, a joke amongst him and his fucking teammates. Like you said, Rich, he wasn't making fun of the Asian culture as a whole and we should kill them all and all that. He wasn't doing any of that. But we've talked about this many, 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 many times on this podcast. This is the pussification of sports. This is the way of the world. This is, oh my God, did you see that gesture? Whereas, I mean, you turn around and Asian people put up their index finger and thumb and go, oh, look at the fucking round eye. You know, so, I mean, people can't handle that anymore. The way this world has become with the media and internet, everybody is special.
Man,
everybody has a spot.
If I was working at a restaurant, like, let's just say, I don't know, a uniquely American restaurant, so like, let's say like an Applebee's that just serves the most bland Americanized version of food it could find. And a group of Asians walked in, sat down, and I was their waiter, and they took their fingers and spread their eyes wide and were like, we would like a cheeseburger and large Coke. I'd probably laugh my ass off at it. I seriously would. I'd be like, oh shit, yeah, all right, you got us, all right. I mean, Eddie Murphy had a bit about it. He goes, you think Asians go into American restaurants and fuck with them behind their back? You know, goof on them behind their back? I mean, even if they goof to my face, I'd probably laugh it off, be like, oh shit, all right, fair enough, you know. I would like a cheeseburger and good credit, please. I mean, you know, I'd laugh, okay. But here's my question. It's the World Series. You know the cameras are everywhere. Why are you doing this in the dugout? Why are you doing it where you can be seen? You're telling me, let's be adults here. You're telling me that you get as diverse of a league as Major League Baseball, and there isn't going to be insensitive racial remarks made in the heat of the moment from one person to another, and that doesn't happen quite often, a lot more than Major League Baseball would like you to think it happens. It just doesn't get picked up by the mics or the cameras. I mean, it's the World Series. You're on the biggest stage anywhere for that game. On top of that, you have a pitcher who does come from another country on the mound. So you do have people from his home country watching. Dude, use your brain. It's not time to start busting out the fucking insensitive jokes about how someone looks because of their race or whatever the fuck. You know, it's not exactly like he did a highly intelligent Mensa member move anyways himself.
Right, but dude, at the same time, he could have been talking about anybody.
Really?
He could have been talking about anybody.
Really? You're playing that card? Really?
I'm going to play that. Were you in the dugout?
It's pretty odd. It doesn't matter. He apologized to him. He admitted fault. So that argument is dead.
No, it's not dead. Because it's the exact same thing we've been talking about. And that I just got through saying. With the way this world has become, with the internet and everything, once somebody goes, ooh, you got to go, oh, fucking, really? All right,
actually,
sorry.
Wait a minute. Hold on. This I did not know. Prior to Manfred's announcement, Gurriel had apologized for the gesture as well as for using the words chinito, a Spanish term. I probably butchered the pronunciation of that, but a Spanish term that can be used as a slur against Asians. All right, that's a little different. I mean...
Come on, it's not different.
What, if you used a slur, it doesn't change things for you?
The whole situation, Chris, doesn't matter a damn to me. He is in his dugout with his players, all right, talking, probably making fun of the pitcher, whatever. Like Rich just said, in the heat of the moment, it's a fucking World Series, man. There, black jokes, white jokes, Asian jokes, everything jokes. His mom got caught on camera. Every fucking joke is in that dugout. In the dugout, between players and friends. Okay? Teammates, chilling, trying to...
Well, the problem is it's spilled out of the dugout. That's the thing. That's probably why everyone's so upset.
Here's the comments from Darvish, and I'm going to take a guess. Maybe I'm being racially insensitive, but I'm going to take a guess that this was run through a translator of some sort because it reads like a direct translation, and some languages don't translate the exact same way. You'll get what I'm saying when I read it. It says, no one is perfect. That includes both you and I. What he had done today isn't right, but I believe that we should put our effort into learning rather than to accuse him. If we can take something from this, that is a giant step for mankind. Since we are living in such a wonderful world, let's stay positive and move forward instead of focusing on anger. I'm counting on everyone's big love.
See, right there, that tells me he wasn't offended. He has no care in the world what was said in that fucking dugout. The fact that the camera caught him making an eye gesture means absolutely nothing to the man. But everybody around the world that saw it and all the fucking special fucking snowflakes, ooh, look what he did. He's such a racist bastard. Man, fuck you.
That was kind of a racist thing to do.
Dude, it's not a racist thing to do.
Well, first of all, you're wrong, Chris. It can't be racist because only white people can be racist because we rule everything. And so only people in power can be racist. So right there, Huffington Post is going to disagree with you. It was a culturally insensitive thing for him to do. Oh.
Right. Bad taste at most.
Obviously, if you can't pick up on my sarcasm, I can't lay it on much thicker or else the toast is going to break in half. But I mean, I don't fucking know, man. It just, is it childish? Is it immature? Fuck yes, it is. I don't know. I don't know anyone that can disagree with that. I mean, in a million years, to play devil's advocate, to be a contrarian, just for the sake of it, I can't think of a situation where he would have made that gesture coupled with a racial slur in his native tongue. So it's not like he said, like, maybe he doesn't have a good grasp of English and like he said something and he doesn't, it got lost in translation. No, he went back to his native tongue and dropped their racial slur for a person of Asian descent along with that gesture. Now, I'm sitting here going, why would he do that? Like when all I thought it was the gesture, I was thinking he could have simply been like, motherfucker, maybe the motherfucker should have opened his eyes a little wider when he threw that ball because that was straight down the middle of the plate. You know, something along those lines. But couple it with like I said, a slur. Now, I mean, once again, we can argue this, but I think we all know this, and so it really. Who do you think? I read you Darvish's statement. Now, who do you think got offended more? You, Darvish, or a bunch of fucking sensitive ass white people watching on TV for you, Darvish?
Option B.
The latter. Absolutely.
You know, I mean, because and this is one of the things that I've seen people who get the professionally offended for others on the behalf of others. I've seen them get fucked over by people from Japan, people from other cultures, Asian cultures, who they don't see outsiders coming to their country and, wearing a kimono or learning their customs as cultural appropriation. They see it as an honor to share their culture. So, his response, let's put it this way. His response shocked me only because I'm so used to people with their fake outrage. anytime anything like this happens.
I guess at this point, I got to ask you guys, how do you define racist and racism?
Well, I think pretending it's innocuous is, we'll borrow a phrase from you here, Rich, is being intellectually dishonest. Pretending that it wasn't anything.
Okay, but I'm asking you, Chris, how do you define racism and racist? Hang on. Do I have to, A, go to Darvish and slant my eyes and talk to him and call him a chink? Is that racist? Or yes. if I'm sitting here talking to Rich on the phone and I'm like, that fucking chink can't see sideways to throw that ball. Am I racist then?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then by your definition, yes, this is racist.
Who was it when it was during the Larry Flint trial that said, I know it when I see it? It's the same kind of thing here. I know it when I see it / hear it. It's pretty obvious. I definitely say a slur is a defining trait.
I think the base definition of racism that you start at, and then it becomes situational after that. But the base definition is when you think your race or another race is superior to another race, based simply on the fact of the color of their skin or where they're from.
Right, and he did none of that. Okay. He made a fucking joke to a teammate.
How about this, Earl? Would you say it in front of them? Would you say it in front of them? If you wouldn't, then
if we were sitting at a bar, and something happened where Darvish threw it straight down the plate, I would absolutely at a bar sit with a beer and be like, dude, seriously, with these slanted eyes, man, you threw that right down the plate. You didn't even see that coming, did you? Dental floss and all. I'm telling you what, man. It was a fucking joke, bro. It was a joke with his friends. It was in poor taste to the public. But he didn't go to the public. Everybody else made it public. He was in a dugout with his frickin' friends making a joke.
Really? Dude, now you're going to argue that sitting in the dugout on national TV is a private situation?
It's not about a private situation.
That's kind of where you're heading there with that.
No, I'm not. I'm telling you, it's the difference for me here, okay, is he wasn't in the batter's box. He didn't charge the mound to do it. He didn't come out of the dugout and make a big spectacle of it. He was sitting in the dugout with his teammates in a pressure situation such as the fucking World Series. He knew he was going to be on
national television.
Okay, dude, so you think it's racist. I got it. The man made a joke to his teammates. That's all that was to me.
So I looked up.
So now you're going to tell me, Chris, because of this joke that he made to his teammates, now you're going to tell me that this particular player hates all Asian people and he's racist against all of these Asian people?
That's quite a jump you're making.
How is that a jump I'm making? You're telling me that he made a racist comment and a racist maneuver that makes him a racist. Either he's racist or he ain't, bro.
Hold on. All right? Now, goddamn it, I go through every goddamn day of my motherfucking life the last 10 years, and the minute one person does something another doesn't like, they slap the worst label they can on them. I'll be goddamn if I'm going to do a fucking podcast with you two and have this shit go on this fucking show. All right? Now, you want to say he made a racially insensitive gesture, remark, whatever, fine. But to throw racist as a blanket term on the guy, whether you're trying to make a point or you're trying to defend a point, I don't give a shit, is bullshit until you have the facts of what the fuck the word actually means in his native language. Until you have the intent of what he was doing, which we don't know. All we have is without sound and someone's say so that he used the word chinito, which now this is a definition that was written in 2011. So this is not a definition that is biased about what just happened and this word being brought into the consciousness of America. It says Spanish, literally meaning little Chinese boy, versus chino, which excludes the ito ending. Chinita is commonly used towards Asians, primarily those of known or assumed Chinese descent and other non-Asian races and cultures who may have characteristics especially physical, that are typically considered Asiatic. When chinito is used as a slang term, the meaning can be a term of endearment or just general hyperbolic description. To add the ending ito or ita is often used as an adjunctive to Spanish words to make them more informal and endearing, not necessarily or likely meant literally commenting on size in a derogatory way. Now, if you'd have just read that HuffPo article, it has sounded like he basically used a Spanish word meaning chink. And that is not what that word means. So now I'm pissed off that you have Huffington Post, who a lot of people take as the fucking word of God, is out here spreading half-truths. Because at best, he called him a little boy out there on the mound, a little Chinese boy out there on the mound, and I mean, at worst, that's what he did. And at best, it was an informal way of addressing him. So, first of all, fuck Huffington Post. I mean, seriously, I did 3 minutes worth of fucking research, and I did obviously more research than this fucking Hillary Hansen cunt who wrote this fucking article. Yeah, bitch, you stupid fucking coos, I'm calling you out. Pull your head out of your fucking rotten-ass crotch and do some fucking research before you put your fucking dick skinners to a fucking keyboard next time. God damn. This is the fucking world we live in? You have the world of knowledge at your fingertips and you can't do 3 minutes worth of fucking research on a word? And now we're going to label a man a racist. Did he make a racially insensitive gesture and comment? Yes. Does that mean he thinks he's better than every Asian walking the face of the earth? Does that mean he thinks that his race is genetically superior to them?
See,
according to Huffington Post, it does.
And that was my whole thing.
Sick of this. I'm sick of this shit from both sides. I'm sick of you apologists trying to act like, oh, he didn't really say what he meant. He did blah 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 blah. And I'm sick of the fucking people who, the minute something said that they don't like, they throw the worst fucking condemnation they can on the person and try to ruin their career. Well, that's it. Their career is over with. They're never allowed to make a living again because they made a mistake. Well, I'm sorry. Let me dig through all you cocksucking motherfuckers' social media, and I guarantee you I'll find something to hang your asses by your fucking heels up from the nearest tree. Man, Rich is riled up. Well, because when this is my fucking fault for bringing the story up without doing. And yeah, so right there, fuck me also. I should have done the fucking 3 minutes of research.
Nobody's safe, not even himself.
But I didn't realize that he said this word because honestly, this report has been amended, and it says at the bottom that this report has been amended since it was first published. So I'll take the hit and say, I should have made sure I read the latest amended report before I sent it to you guys. But I swear the report I read at first didn't bring this up. It just brought the gesture up. But I also bookmarked this, 2-3 days ago? Yeah, it was published on the 28th and it was updated within the last 24 hours.
Oh, in the news cycle, that might as well be 3 months ago.
But, I mean, I'm literally, Google, put the word in, Chinito. Definition comes up, gives it context in the use of informal and formal. And they couldn't post that definition. They couldn't make that distinction. See, this is where intent matters. And this is where people who want to pick a fucking ideological side don't understand because intent destroys their argument. Case in point, I'm against burning the flag. Well, guess what, motherfucker? Me and 3 other guys burned a flag one time. Got a problem with it? Well, if you don't know the context of why we burned the flag, it might sound like we were out there dancing on the United States flag, listening to goddamn fucking Rage Against the Machine and our Che Guevara fucking T-shirts, and just burning anything that had the colors red, white, and blue on it. And if you're inclined to think that's what I would do without knowing the intent, that would be your assumption. The truth was, I was in a Boy Scout troop, and we were learning how to retire a flag properly. And when you retire a flag, you burn it. But if you don't know the intent, you're commenting without knowing the full story, which means you're making assumptions, which means you're a fucking retard and need to shut your cock holster. God damn, I'm tired of this shit. I can't read one fucking article not even a sports article no more, without having to research what these fuckers who are making, I guarantee you, triple what I'm making, are to pound out like monkeys on typewriters is bullshit. I do more research than they do. Where's my motherfucking 6-figure check? All right, sorry,
mail.
I'm on the subject.
Check is definitely in the mail. And not to be confused with the chink in the mail. Don't do that.
It's checking the armor.
Or whichever. You know.
Yes. But, well, shit.
Well, I mean, let's move on to whatever his intent, whatever. He got 5 games versus 1 World Series game. I mean, do you think that he should have gotten a World Series game plus 5 games? Do you think he should have got just the 5 games? Do you think maybe he should have just got a fine?
I think he should have just got fined. Honestly, I don't think it's worth suspending somebody over.
I think he should have got a stern talking to, at best. Dude, there's cameras. Are you out of your mind? Go to the clubhouse and say some shit like that.
I mean, I think, look, like I said, 5 games in a 162 game season. You know, it might be a bit of an understatement to call it a drop in the bucket, but it's not going to make or break that team. It's not like losing Ezekiel Elliott for 6 games of a 16 game season. You know, it's just not. You know, but the fact that they didn't suspend him during the World Series tells me that it's more important to get those ratings for the World Series than it is to make a point over this issue. And it leaves Major League Baseball open for criticism down the road. Because just like the Ray Rice thing has constantly came back to bite the NFL and Roger Goodell in the dick with this bullshit, and that's why Ezekiel Elliott is now paying for the sins of what other players and the other not the other commissioner, but the commissioner handled a different situation. He's now paying for those sins with a severe overcorrection. This is leaving the door open for this to happen again down the line in baseball. Because I'm going to tell you what, you want to see the oppression totem pole and where you fall on it. Let homeboy have stuck his lips out against, and that'd have been a black pitcher on the mound.
That's what I was going to say. What if it, he pulled his lips out and made a gesture of his lips being big, or did the black fist in the air thing, or then what happens?
At that point, you'd have had a lot more people.
Yeah, I think my man got a pass because he's brown,
shit.
But I can't say that because I'm a white guy. I think even if this is white on yellow crime, I think if that was a white guy, he'd be drummed out of the league. He'd probably been suspended for the remainder of the World Series, and then fucking 2 years from now, be like, oh, hey, remember that guy? What happened to him? Oh, that's right.
Well, I mean, I do know that there has been, a handful of accusations in the NHL about players making comments about black players on the ice, in reference to racial slurs or, get your black ass off the ice or whatever the fuck. And I don't know if it's because the NHL falls under the radar for the most part, or if it's because maybe, and I highly doubt this, but just maybe most players in the NHL, most fans of the NHL, and most people in the NHL understand that if you've ever heard a mic'd up NHL game, the shit that is said is some of the most, savage fucking trash talk back and forth. It's just because it's not the NFL, it's not basketball or baseball. I think it's not in the public consciousness as much. I mean, I've clearly had Earl. You remember those Probert fight tapes I had? Oh yeah, and the one where they had the fucking dog pile behind Tim Shovelday, and Bob Probert's just straight beating the shit out of some guy, and like the linesman pulls him off, and as Probert's getting pulled off, the guy's like, "You hit like a bitch," and Probert's like, "That's not what your mother said when I was fucking her last night." I mean, just like clear as day, you heard it on TV. And Mickey Redmond, no one on the Red Wings, broadcast team apologized or drew attention to it. They were just like, And the boys are having a good old Donnybrook in the corner over here. You know, I mean, it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's it's so much part of the game that they understand that, to where it's like, look, did the guy really fuck his mother the other night and beat the shit out of her while I was doing it? No. You know, but let the wrong person hear it these days. And then you got every fucking half-ass news agency in the world reporting on it, doing absolutely no research into the culture of the game or nothing. In fact, the only time the word culture is going to come up, I'm surprised toxic masculinity didn't come up in this article somehow. But, you know, I did. There's a little option to click on 280 comments. I didn't, because my blood pressure is actually normal when I went to the doctor the other day. I don't want to get it back up there. So I'm staying out of comment sections for the time being.
Hey, Rich, didn't we go through this with the NFL? Somebody using the N-word or something on the field?
A black guy to another black guy.
Right. And we went through this whole
NFL said we're going to give you 15 yards if you say the word nigger on the field. To everybody. And look, if you've listened to enough of our episodes, you know how I feel. When we're having a fucking adult conversation about words, I fucking resent you, and I will spit in your fucking face if you get in my face and tell me and insist I have to talk like a fucking 2-year-old child when we're talking about this shit. No one's calling nobody a nigger. No one's fucking directing it towards anybody. I refuse to be fucking told I have to talk like I'm a fucking infant for the comfort of rich little white boys and girls who, oh my God, I can't hear that word unless a rapper says it. Okay, but when you have NFL players on the fucking field and they're black and they're using it towards another black person, please, I will sit back and strap in. Explain to me how that's racist.
The term in and of itself is racist, Rich. That's the thing. That's what this whole article's about. Doing the slanted eyes is perceived as being racist.
If you're stupid,
it wouldn't have mattered if another Chinese man did it in the dugout. It's the action of is racist.
And refuse to deal with the reality of intent, yes. But if that's the case, then you're stupid. And you know what I do with stupid people's opinion? I flush it down the toilet with my morning glory I take every day. I don't give a fuck. You're stupid, and so's your opinion. It's shit.
I'm on that bus. I really am. Whatever happened, and I said it when we talked about the black to black N-word. Whatever happened to sticks and stones? You know what I mean? Sticks and stones will break your bones, names will never hurt you.
But words will trigger me forever.
That's really what it's turned into. D.L. Hewley on the original Kings of Comedy restated it and said, you know, sticks and stones, man, they let them say what they want, but don't let them put their hands on you. You know, we are way past that. Punching somebody out, I mean, you don't even have to do that anymore. You could call them names and hurt them way worse than you ever could touching them. I just find that so funny and extremely sad all at the same time.
I just think it's the glaring, or not the glaring, but the 500-pound elephant in the room on this story is the fact that Darvish himself shrugged it off, and the person that this gesture was, and I'll give it to the people reporting this shit. I'll say it was directed directly at him. Let's say that he looked right at Darvish on the mound and did it, and was like, that's you. Let's say he did that. For the fact that Darvish goes, I don't give a fuck. Okay, well, if he's not offended, what are you offended about?
That's what I'm saying, man. Sticks to stones, and people are like, no, and like you said, no, I can't hear that word. You know, that's the world we live in now. The whole joke that you, Rich, you and me and everybody else, you know, the sperm burping road whore, cum guzzling gutter slut. If you say that to a woman now or in a woman's presence, dude, you beat the shit out of her for an hour. That's how much she's whimpering and crying and sitting in the corner.
Do you know, I use the word cunt more to describe men than I do women. I use it in the sense that the British people use it. You know why? Because there's a bunch of bitch-ass cunt men these days. That's the fuck why. Bunch of punk-ass, bitch-made, cake-eating, friend of Dorothy motherfuckers these days. They're soft. Go wear your skinny jeans and get your fucking emotional support animal and your color hair bun and go to your fucking safe space, bitch. Real men are talking. Sorry. that shit don't faze me no more. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. That's a hateful word towards women. Oh, and if a guy tells me that, I'll go, you know what? You might be right, but you're a bigger cunt than any woman I've met so far. So,
yeah, that's all I got, Rich. I can't do it anymore. There's no place for people like you and me. There isn't. No place in this world is safe. We can't go out anywhere. Sometimes you can't even sit. I can't, period. I cannot sit in my own house and say shit.
You know, the best example of how we've all been forced to think the way certain people want us to think is that I recently rewatched all of Ken Burns' baseball documentary. And I watched that for the first time in about 15 years. From beginning to end. And when I first watched it, when they switched to talk about the separation of black and white players in the first, almost 70 years of baseball, and how, you had Satchel Paige and Josh Gibson and all these guys were in one league, and then, the Major League Baseball players owner had the quote unquote gentleman's agreement not to sign black players, but they would let their players barnstorm against each other in the off season. And et cetera, et cetera. I didn't sit there thinking, wow, this is some left wing, shove it down my throat. I need to feel guilty about it, white guilt trip. This is just facts being presented. And then I watched it 15 years later, and it was online. It's on YouTube. So, I didn't post it. I'm not watching it. I didn't post it, so don't come after me for copyright infringement. But, you watch something that's 24 hours long, and eventually on YouTube, you're going to wander down into the fucking comment section. And it was riddled with people who, this is left-wing propaganda. This is this. And it's just how come we weren't saying this 15 years ago? For the exact same documentary, nothing taken out of it. By the way, any reference to the word nigger in that documentary was not bleeped in 2002 or in 2017 on YouTube. And in 2002, it was on PBS when I watched it. All right. So, they kept it rough, rugged, and raw for everybody. They didn't pretty it up for no one's feelings. But so many people who watched it felt the need to hop in the comment section and start pointing fingers. Well, this is blah, blah, blah. This is them trying to make me feel guilty for being white. And this is bullshit. This is trying to push some black agenda. And no. This is you feeling guilty white because you are guilty because you got white privilege. And this is horrible. And blah, blah, blah. And it's just where the fuck was all this 15 years ago, guys?
Well, Rich, I want to so bad point to the government and say it's their fault. Because the best thing that the government does is make the American people fight amongst themselves, because once they do that, they stay away from Washington and they get richer. But I honestly think this is just the way our society has turned. It started back in the mid-'90s when people started saying, oh, we got to save the children, we got to protect the kids, all these beatings, all these molestations, all of these things, we got to save the children. And that just carried on into the 2000s and has pushed that whole agenda. Now it's, we got to save the children. We can't talk bad to each other. I matter, I was talking to somebody the other day. It was a black guy. And we were talking about the gay and lesbianism and all this. And he said, hey, it's just their time. The black people had their time with their movement. This is the gay movement. And I used Rich's statement of no, you can't, because the gays and the lesbians keep moving the fucking bar. Okay, blacks were look, I'm black, I am a person, you're going to like me, you're going to like me or hate me, I'm a person, you're going to treat me as such. Okay, they didn't move the bar. They didn't say, well, I'm not black, but I'm brown, so I'm a person. Well, I'm not brown, but I'm chocolate, so
wow,
no.
It's amazing how you got that out of what I said. I didn't say gays and lesbians were doing it.
Hang on. Wait.
No, hold on.
Wait,
I'm not hanging. No, I'm not hanging on.
Let me finish my point.
You misquote me.
I'm not misquoting you. Hang on a minute. Black people said, look, I'm black, period. End of fucking file. I'm a person, and that's it. Okay? Gays and lesbians keep moving the fucking bar. Okay? It was, hey, we're gay, we love each other, it's accepted. Finally, people wised up, and rightly so. You're right. You're gays. We accept you. Absolutely. Well, yeah, but now I'm transgendered, and you're going to accept that. Okay, we're going to accept that. And then they keep moving the fucking bar. Well, I'm pangendered. What the fuck is pangender? You put your gender in a pan? What the fuck? Okay, we'll accept pangender. Well, I'm a man trapped in a woman's body, and I'm going to use the woman's restroom. Wait, what? No, they kept moving the fucking bar. Every time we said, okay, we'll accept that, they keep moving the fucking bar. That's just the way this society is formed.
That's not the lion's share of gay and lesbians who are doing that. That is these bullshit fucking people who it's cool to be fucking different, who go to Tumblr and pick one of the 56 genders that's made up on Tumblr to call themselves and turn it into cause du jour of the week. It has nothing to do with gay people. God damn it, my fucking roommate who'll be moving in like a month and a half is gay. One of my closest friends. I work with the man. And he's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. These people these aren't gay people. These aren't lesbians. These aren't even trans people. These are fucking solidly middle-class white people who want to get on the oppression bus but have no ticket. So they go behind the fucking bus stop real quick, take a crayon and a piece of paper and draw up some bullshit on it and go, oh, here's my oppression ticket. Can I get on the bus? They're the ones that keep fucking pushing for this shit. I never said gay people keep fucking pushing for this shit because...
No, your statement of moving the bar, that's your statement. I move the goalpost. You always tell me I move the goalpost. You accept my point, but then I move it.
Well,
Play devil's advocate to your statement there, Iceman. You could argue black people kept moving the bar with colored, and then it was Negro, and then you can't see, and then you got to be black, and then it was African American. Now it's back to black, and I mean
now it's people of color. Now it's white. now it's white Hispanic and white passing. And then I've heard recently black people of color, brown people of color.
I still don't know where the word Caucasian came from. Honestly, I don't.
The Caucasus Mountains in Europe.
I'm fucking white. Caucasian, I don't get it.
Well, my point is that the exact same documentary, not retouched, not recut, not edited, not censored, nothing. If I couldn't have been the only person that watched it 15 years after originally watching it and go, what the fuck? Why is all of a sudden my mind automatically go to this shit? Oh, well, maybe it's because it's been beat into our fucking heads to do so much in the last 15 years to where we can't just fucking enjoy anything anymore. It has trickled down to the most trivial of time wasters in the grand scheme of things, which is sports, to where no fucking sin goes without being overblown and punished. No matter how slight, no matter how grievous, it doesn't matter. It's the same punishment. And we're getting to the point where accusations are as good as a conviction. That's a very scary place to be. And yeah, this isn't the right podcast, but it's bleeding over into sports, and it's almost impossible to talk about certain sports stories without bringing that up. Case in point, the Ezekiel Elliott shit, all right? I know we usually save football to the end, but I feel like this dovetails nicely from this story into the Ezekiel Elliott story. Once again, they upheld his 6 games, judge upheld his 6-game suspension. It's started to be served immediately, which means what? At week 9 through 15, he's got to sit.
But I also saw today that the NFLPA is going to appeal it again.
Right. So they suspended the decision so they could form an appeal.
Okay, so the only way so they must be going to a higher court, appealing to a higher court every time. I mean, because that's usually how appeals work. You appeal the court that made the decision. They either accept the appeal or deny it. You appeal to a higher court. They make a decision. And if you don't like that decision, you appeal to a higher court. And eventually that's how you work your way up to, you're appealing to the Supreme Court. I'm no lawyer, but I think that's how that works. So if he's going to play, they're going to have to appeal to another higher court. That court's going to have to suspend his suspension until they rule on it. which means they're rolling the dice.
Mm-hmm.
Which means they could end up in week 15, and with them going, he's got to serve the 6-game suspension, which would put him out for the rest of the regular season and any playoff games, and depending on how deep of a playoff run, first games of the regular season next year. I mean, but that is the symptom of the disease. Guys, he wasn't convicted in a court of law.
Yeah.
He wasn't even fucking charged and arraigned in a court of law. He never even had to stand up and say guilty, not guilty, plead no contest, nothing. Unless I got my facts wrong, it never went past the investigation stage.
Mm-hmm. But the loophole that Goodell keeps, pounding on is it's a violation of the NFL's conduct policy. Which I guess I get, but I don't know, man.
So once again, we're back to an accusation is just as good as a conviction.
If you're Roger Goodell, yeah.
Now, this is the NFL is a multi-billion-dollar company, corporation. If they can start to do this, how long till it starts trickling down to other fucking places in day-to-day life? I mean, this should scare the shit out of anybody.
I could give you several examples of the company that I work for has done things like that, but I can't because I like to work for them. So, but no, it's at this point, with the current social climate we're in, just any wind of any impropriety, nope, you're done. Cut ties with you. See ya.
So we are letting the private sector bypass our own laws of due process. This is the issue in my book, all right? The issue when it was under investigation was whether he committed this act or not. When he wasn't charged, that stopped being the issue. So now the issue, which Roger Goodell has forced, is, it's the league conduct policy. So the league's level of proof for misconduct isn't the same as the legal level of proof required?
Apparently not. And I just wonder, too, how much of this is overcorrection for him punching the DJ. Because the guy dropped the charges, Goodell couldn't do anything.
Well, I've read more than a few articles that alluded to that, but they say that was just the icing on the cake. This is due to the overcorrection from the Ray Rice incident. This is Goodell trying to, because a woman came out and said, he assaulted me. This is Goodell trying to protect the Shield at all costs and prove that no player is greater than the Shield. Which, let's be honest, if you play for the NFL, I don't give a fuck if your name's Tom Brady. You start taking money out of the owner's pockets, I don't care how great of a player you are, you'll find out how quick you're replaceable.
Yeah.
Believe that.
If I were Zeke's lawyer, I would just have a 2-word defense every time I go in front of any judge. It would be Greg Hardy. Yeah, but Mr. Elliott, Greg Hardy. Yeah, but Greg Hardy, you let him play the next season. That motherfucker didn't even get suspended. So yeah, you're going to suspend Zeke over some shit that law enforcement cleared him of? Okie dokie. Well, that goes for you, Raj. And I like how the Olders are holding this contract extension hostage. I know it's not over this, but I do like that.
Well,
it's over Kaepernick, isn't it?
See, I think his contract being held because of everything, though. Kaepernick, Zeke, Rice, the kicker in New York. I mean, everything. Greg Hardy.
Guys, at this point, 5 years ago, 3 years ago when we started Unregimented, when I first joined this podcast network, I'd have probably scoffed at the idea that one issue like that is affecting another. But at this point, this isn't even conspiracy theory. This is just a fact. There is a contingent of people who want to mix all the issues up to the point where they're all interconnected. They even have a word for it. Intersectional whatever, okay? Which means every single thing affects every single thing else. Nothing stands on its own. And this is the way that these people who are very loud, who are very used to getting their way, and amazingly, when they throw temper tantrums when they don't get their way, that scares grown people who handle millions, if not billions of dollars every day, make life or death decisions into acquiescing to their demands, which blows my mind. I mean, as much as I shit on all these fucking soft, skinny jean wearing pieces of shits who cry over every little fucking thing, who's really more the pussy? Them or the people who fucking fold like, a wet piece of paper the minute they start fucking their autistic screeching? I mean, because why Roger Goodell just don't go, fuck you, I don't have any legal thing. I don't have a legal leg to stand on to suspend him. This is not the Ray Rice incident. We don't have footage of him doing it. We don't have proof that he did it, period. So fuck off. Why he didn't do that blows my mind.
I just wonder, Rich, when we went to radio school together, weren't we taught to, ignore the people on the request lines because that is such a minute percentage of the listener base that calls in to request songs? When did this shift for everything else?
Yeah. In fact, I'll give you the quote that I remember from one of our instructors, which was, unless they're calling up to request a song that's already in rotation, that's when you hit record, you record them, and you act like you're playing a request. So it garners you, hey, they actually listen to their listeners. And then of course, me being me, I had to raise my hand and be like, well, how come they've played an obscure song that I've called in and asked for them to play? And he went, what time was it? Was it during drive time? Was it during the high the high money advertising times? Or was it during a day part? And I was like, yeah, it's 1 a.m. He goes, exactly. That's why they took your request.
Mm-hmm. But I guess the whole point of it was, just in general, feedback is generally by a small, tiny group of people. We've gone from ignoring them to letting them call all the shots.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
With everything.
Instead of putting it in perspective of, this is literally a single-digit percentage point of our audience who feels this way. So, yeah, we'll listen to you, but we're going to listen to you on our terms. Instead, they go, well, no, let's give them the biggest stage possible and let them speak. And here's the thing. All it takes is one person to speak with passion. And the masses who are idiots are easily swayed. If you doubt what I'm saying, look at history. Look at people like Jim Jones. Look at people like Elijah Muhammad. Look at people like Louis Farrakhan, Charles Manson, L. Ron Hubbard, David Miscavige. Look at, all you got to do is convince people that and speak with passion and a little bit of fire. And the easily swayed idiots will just be licking putty out your hand, ready to do your bidding.
Look at our last 3 presidential elections.
3.
Shit. Look at fucking every president since Carter.
Yeah, so look at every president since I've been alive. It's all been cult of personality.
And I think I think that's what a lot of this is coming down to, is that these people have, that the small percentage have decided that this is their cause du jour. This is to use an now overused saying, this is the hill they've chosen to die on, and they're going to take that hill come hell or high water, and they don't care, and they got the blinders on, and they're just charging straight up the hill. It does not matter one bit. Once they make their mind up, it's set in stone. It cannot be changed. And for whatever reason, right now, I mean, we can speculate till the cows come home, but we'll never truly know until Goodell comes out and says why he's so hell-bent on having Ezekiel Elliott sit 6 games. The point is, he is hell-bent on it, and so is the NFL, to the point where they will go to court over it repeatedly. I mean, they are the equivalent of the landlord who takes you to court over $30 and drags it out for years and years.
I admire Zeke, man. He's fighting it every step of the way. At no point has he just rolled over and went, well, I'm suspended. He's appealed it every fucking time. He said, no, fuck you.
Yeah, but I give that little water, though, Chris, because is he doing it because he's not guilty, or is he doing it because he thinks he's going to be able to play? And everybody's like, just keep appealing it. They'll drop it eventually, and you'll just win, and you'll play.
Really?
I mean, I give it little water.
A multi-billion-dollar corporation with unlimited resources is going to drop a case against one millionaire? That doesn't hold water. If anything, it's going the other way around. I can see it going the other way around. Well, they'll just keep taking him to court and try to bleed him to death because they got the money to do so. They got more money than Zeke.
Yeah, but Zeke isn't paying for this, is he? It's the NFLPA, right?
Part of his union dues, but the NFL has more money than the NFLPA. I guarantee you that. It will go the other way around.
In a heartbeat, they have more money, dude.
Well, absolutely, but I'm not talking about just money. I'm talking about eventually something has to give.
You're saying they're going to give up? Fuck no. They got unlimited resources and unlimited money. If anything, they'll wait for Zeke. After his 25th appeal, they'll just keep doing it till he just goes, all right, fuck it, man. I'll just sit 6 games. I see it going the other way.
This is why you have so many divorces where one party knows that no matter what, the other party is going to have to pay their legal fees. That party who has carte blanche to spend the other party's money on their legal fees will keep that shit in court until the fucking cows come home. Because they know, fuck it, in the end, it's not coming out of their pocket. It doesn't fucking matter. The NFL's got so much money, they don't know what the fuck to do with it half the time. And if they've decided that they're trying to make a point, because let's go back for a second to when, a couple weeks ago, we talked about that article that made the claim that 50% of NFL viewership is women. And I laughed so damn hard, I damn near burst one of my fucking nuts. Because that's just horse shit. That is just not a fact. That is subjectively wrong, all right? But let's just say it, for shits and grins, let's say it is. Then the NFL has decided to appease 50% of their fan base. They're going to make him sit 6 games. He has a finite amount of 1, time, 2, money, and 3, opportunity to fight it. Because at a certain point, he can't appeal to any higher court. The NFL has when you look at Ezekiel Elliott and the NFLPA has infinite amounts of money, has all the time in the world, and can drag this out to the highest court in the land. And they don't give a shit. They'll do it because they've dug their heels in and they've decided this is what we want. And this is also part of where we're at in the society. Once you make a decision, once you make a declaration based on that decision, you do not reverse yourself. If someone pushes back against you, it doesn't matter if they push back out of anger, fear, hatred, or if they push back out of righteousness because they have facts and the figures on their side. You dig your heels in deeper and you double down because reality is perception these days. As asinine as that is, reality is perception, period. And if I'm Zeke, fuck it. They're gonna have to go to the highest court I can take it to and win it there.
Yeah, I will exhaust my appeals because fuck you. I didn't get arrested for anything. I didn't get charged for anything.
I mean, that's just all there is to it. I mean, you have players on the fucking field choking quarterbacks, stomping on people's fucking body parts, and we have video proof that their side of the story is bullshit and they won't reverse themselves. That's how stupid we are as a society at this point. Well, this happened. No, it didn't. Yes, it did. No, it didn't. And we have 20 camera angles to prove to you it didn't. Doesn't matter. It's the Shaggy defense. Wasn't me.
Those other kids. Wasn't me. I didn't do shit. But he's wearing a jersey that has your name on it. Wasn't me.
But he held up your social security card, birth certificate, why
and
you
your
did
ID.
It. Wasn't me. I don't tell you, wasn't me. It's crazy. That's the reality. That's the reality of the culture we're in right now, of our nation, and it's bled over into sports, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. And yeah, I guess this is my Chicken Little moment. It ain't gonna get better, guys. It's just not. Shit like this very, 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 very rarely reverses itself. Once you go this far down the rabbit hole, you don't even see the light that you left behind. You're just fucking going deeper and deeper. The only way to get out of it is to dig yourself straight through to the other side. But that's not what these people want. That's not what Goodell wants. Goodell wants to set up an questioning, impenetrable dictatorship where he is the spokesperson of that dictatorship, which in turn is the NFL.
He is the arbiter of all.
And he's going to get away with it because he has the owners on his side. And yeah, the owners love the players when they bring the championships. But ultimately, if the owners could go back to the pre-free agent days to where they literally owned the players, unless they sold their contract or traded them, and that was all there is to it, the owners would do it in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. And believe me, you would watch players' salaries plummet while their profits skyrocketed. And this is just another example of we want to show you don't run this fucking organization. We do. So what do you do at this point, man? All you do is you fight the good fight. You go down swinging, which is what Zeke is doing, you know. And here's the bitch of it: none of us really know for a fact if he did assault that woman. I mean, I tend to go on what evidence do you have, and if they don't even have enough evidence to drag him in front of a grand jury and try to indict him, then that speaks to a very serious lack of evidence. So I'm going to go with that. You know, I'm going to say, there probably isn't enough smoke for there to be fire. So, yeah.
Man, Goodell's standing over it, though, with a magazine, and he's blowing on it. So he's fanning that flame. He's like, come on, man.
Just waving it.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Let me see one spark. That's all I need. Whatever. I think we all know, in the end, Zeke's sitting for 6 games. Or some number of games. Even if it gets reduced, at this point, 1 game is too many, in my opinion. They have nothing on him. This is just pure, we made a decision, how dare he buck us, we're going to teach him a lesson.
Do you think Zeke, well, I guess it'll depend on his career, how his career is going, but do you think Zeke becomes a crusader and sues him back? Well, hey, this is bullshit.
Man, if he does, I think he's playing real fast and loose with his career, because I think if he does that, to me that's on par with Colin Kaepernick suing the league for collusion.
Yeah, but Zeke's at least got a case. Okay, didn't do anything.
I know, but at that point, all it takes is the owners having a closed door meeting, going, okay, so we're done with him, right? I mean, he has an owner who one, is the highest profile owner in the NFL, you know, and 2, has been known to go, I don't give a fuck what the NFL wants. I'm going to do what I want. I mean, he's no Al Davis when it comes to that, but he's as close to Al Davis as the NFL has right now. So that might be the one thing going for him. But if he ever gets cut by the Cowboys and he does sue the NFL, I doubt he'll ever get another job.
Hi, Colin Kaepernick. How are you?
That's what I'm saying, man. Because
I've told you guys, man. I bet you Cap ends up in a Niners uniform. There's a place for him now too. Bet you ends up back where he left.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if he ends up back there, that means that San Francisco not only is suffering a winless season so far, and didn't they just trade for Garoppolo?
Yep.
And cut Hoyer.
So if Garoppolo goes out there and stumbles, and Cap's the backup, now they got a fucking quarterback controversy on their hands. And to make matters worse, you know, all the bullshit and unwanted attention that comes with Kaepernick. The only way I could see it working for him is if they continue to lose, it might take the heat off of them for, you know, having a winless season. That's the only thing I can think of. You know, they'll be so worried about, you know, how's it feel to be back in the NFL? Are you going to, Are you going to kneel? I mean, oh my God. Can you imagine that locker room and the press conferences before his announced first start or first game back on the team? Like leading up to that?
Be the first time a Huffington Post reporter's ever been in a sports locker room.
I mean, it'd be a clusterfuck.
NPR all of a sudden starts a sports department.
Yeah, no shit, right? Like at that point, I just turn off the fucking. I just go, fuck it. I'm done with sports that week. I just can't because you ain't gonna hear any other sports stories. Derek Jeter, A-Rod, and Big Papi could all die that same week, and those would be fucking footnotes in the news. That's just what I'm saying. It'd be like, oh yeah, so a bunch of shit with Colin Kaepernick for 58 minutes on SportsCenter, and in the last 2 minutes, Derek Jeter, A-Rod, and Big Papi died. Yep, we're sad about that. All right, top of the hour, more Kaepernick news.
Yeah. Donald Trump would have to butt fuck an immigrant for it to not be all about Cap that week. He'd have to do it live Sunday morning on the White House lawn for that to not be the lead story. I get you.
Well, I know before we move on to the rest of the football news and shit that ICEman, you wanted to bring up some of the goings on in the NBA.
Yeah, it's almost an ice moment. It's almost, I called it everyone moment. The trades seem to have working so far. Yes, it's the beginning of the season, Chris. I'm well aware, but it's already taking.
And would you call Golden State playing like shit? The trade's working.
Okay, it's not just Golden State, number one, but it's you see it with the difference in many different scores across the league. Teams that should be winning aren't. Teams you were like, oh, I know how this story plays out. Well, it has an alternate ending now. Just a spiff of an example with the 76ers winning over Houston Rockets. You're like, wait, what? How'd that happen? And that goes out throughout the league. There's different teams that are beating other teams that they didn't stand a chance last season. If it continues to roll this way, it's definitely worth watching the NBA season again. Because for the past 3 years, we all just sat back and was like, can we please get to the final so we can see if LeBron wins against the Warriors or not? And, I mean, all of that has stopped. It's no longer just, okay, let's get to the finals so we can see that matchup again. It's like, well, are they going to make it to the finals? A lot of people think that OKC has a very good chance of stopping the Warriors. I personally don't, but a lot of people do. And, the East is shaking up a lot, so, Cleveland's domination isn't assured this year.
ICEman, there's 7 games have been played. 7. Everybody is 7 games. The Pistons are in first. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
7 games.
Yeah.
7 games.
I know. It's the beginning of the season. I stated that. Now look up and see how many the Warriors have lost.
Yeah, 3. They're 5-3.
Yeah, they're 5-3. This is a team
they're
that
still
over
in
the past
first in their
2
division.
seasons have lost 19 games.
They're still in first in their division.
Out of
They're tied with the Clippers.
164 games.
They're still in first.
They've lost 19 games in 2 seasons, Chris.
They're still in first place.
I don't care about first place. You're talking your apples and oranges here. I don't care where they're ranked, Chris. In the past
kind of what matters at the end of the season.
Chris, at the past 2 seasons, they've lost a total of 19 games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They have already lost 3.
Mm-hmm. They're still in first place.
You're missing my point, boss. Are they going to be in first place? Yes. Are they probably going to the playoffs? Probably. Maybe make the finals. Maybe. Okay. All of that I'll give to you. Now, what I'm telling you is you can actually watch the NBA season because it's not assured victory for anybody anymore, including and up to Golden State, who has already lost 3.
But still in first place. I guess there's 7 games in, man. There's 7 games in.
Chris, the matter of where they're going to be ranked isn't my point, boss. The fact that I can actually watch a game and not know the outcome. That's what I'm telling you.
I mean, in the East, Boston's in first.
At the end of the season, are they going to be first? Probably. And yay for them. But during the season, I can actually watch a game and not go, oh, I know, like I said, I know how this story ends. No, I don't.
Well, yeah, first 7 games, sure.
And if it keeps rolling the way it started, we are going to have a good season. You can actually watch the season. You don't just have to wait.
Okay, well, we'll agree to disagree because it looks like it's going to be more of the same. Quite honestly, I mean, the Northwest, you have 4 or 5 teams tied for first. I mean, again, too. I mean, that's a default to 7 games in, Earl. I think Golden State has played the most. They've played 8.
And my point, I will stick with that point with Golden State. Golden State has lost a total of how many games the past 2 seasons? Out of 164. They lost 7 one year and 10 the next. So they lost 17 games. And they've already, this year, in the past 8 games they played, lost 3.
Wait, because they've been playing like shit. It hasn't been they've run into, it's, if you've been following them, it's until the last, maybe 4 or 5 days, they've been playing like shit. They've not got off to the greatest start.
Okay. Well, you can chalk it up to how they play. I'm going to chalk it up to the trades.
Isn't the bigger question as far as Golden State start, did anyone really expect them to keep winning at the clip they were winning the last 2 seasons?
No, not realistically. No one expected Aaron Judge to hit 400 the whole season, and he didn't.
I mean, even if they fall off and come back down to earth and aren't a historic, put up a historically a historical amount of wins. The aberration would be if they did that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons in a row. Not that they did it for 2 seasons and are now coming back down to earth, because people were waiting for them to come back down to earth since the beginning of last season. So if that's what's happening, I mean, that's the natural order of things. The 97 Bulls, they didn't have, the next season wasn't that many wins. I mean, it built to that point, and that was their peak. And I mean, yeah, they can keep adding, Golden State can keep adding players and making trades and try to get back to that, which, if I'm a fan of Golden State, is what the fuck I want, right? Isn't that the point? You want a team to get to the top and stay relevant. You understand your team's not going to win it every year, but goddamn it, you want them to be relevant every year.
Right, but it's moreover, I want to be able to watch a basketball game and not go, okay, I know how this is going to end. Every fucking night, I want to see competition. I want to see 4 members of a team give a good run. By halftime, I know the outcome of the game, and I'm turning and finding something else to watch. So, yes, Golden State's probably going to be rated number 1 and all that good shit, and relevant, yeah. But moreover, I can watch the NBA season again. I don't just have to wait.
I guess, too, you're talking like it's some epidemic problem. I mean, it's maybe...
Well, ever since 3 years ago, it really has been. Ever since 3 years ago when the Warriors won it, it has been an epidemic problem. For the last 8 years, LeBron James has been in the frickin', or 8 of the last 9 or whatever, he's been in the finals. So it's always been, who's going to face LeBron? And then for the past 3 years, it's been, okay, here we go, LeBron and the Golden State Warriors. Who's going to win? Now it's, well, hey, we actually get to watch a couple of season games and enjoy it.
So by that rationale, should the Patriots trade away a couple of people so that the games are competitive? I mean, it sounds like you're mad at good general managers. Like, these teams are assembled. Like, I guess I don't get why you're pissed. I mean, it goes on in football. You got no problem with it. Hello?
I have my own technical difficulty. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Now.
Okay.
Did you hear anything I just said?
No. A damn dog knocked out the plug.
I just said, like, I don't get what... It seems like your rub here is like with good general managers. Like, these teams are made, and it goes on in football. You have no problem with it. Like, you pretty much know the outcome of most Patriots games. You don't seem to have a problem with it there.
Like, if anything, you should be bagging on the general managers rather than the teams in the league.
No. I'm not bagging on anybody. I just, ever since 3 years ago, when the Warriors came up and became the power they are, it just has started being, okay, here we go. Golden State and Cleveland. Who's going to win?
Well, that's it. You don't have a problem with it in football. It's been with that, like that's with New England since 2005.
It's been who's going to stop New England. It's not New England and...
We're going to sit here and parse words now, or...
I guess I get your point, but I mean, dude, you have to... no one was thinking...
Okay.
No one was thinking at the beginning of New England's third year into the Tom Brady era, no one was thinking who's going to stop New England. No one was thinking, oh my God, New England is going to be a powerhouse for over a decade. They were just going, oh, fuck, maybe this Brady kid is for real. In fact, I still knew a lot of people who shit all over New England because they said, yeah, you won that Super Bowl in 2002 on a last-minute fucking field goal, and you didn't even go to the Super Bowl in your second year with Brady at the helm. So, I mean, I get your point, but I don't know. You want to see good games. I understand that. But at the same time, maybe we need in sports good guys and bad guys, and maybe we need it to be like wrestling, to where a guy can go from a fucking, a face to a heel real quick, or vice versa. I mean, who the fuck knows, man? I think it's safe to say now, since the decision, LeBron James has played the bad guy in the NBA. I mean, unless you're a LeBron fan, you pretty much are like, oh, fuck that guy. And Golden State, pretty much none of their players have taken a huge misstep yet. At least
you got Green. Green's a misstep. Huge.
Is he? Look at his results.
I'm talking about in the court of public opinion, as far as, doing something as overblown and ego-driven and narcissistic as the decision. That's what I'm talking about. That soured so many people on LeBron. If he'd have never done that, and he'd have just went to fucking South Beach and had a press conference and didn't try to make it like a WWF fucking show, or WWE show, and come out, not one, not two, not three, not four, and all that bullshit, people in Cleveland would have been salty, but for the most part, I think most of the other NBA fans wouldn't have cared.
Yeah, it was a douchey move.
It was such a douchey move. It got non-NBA fans going, fuck LeBron James. That's what I mean. I don't think anybody on Golden State has done that level of fuck up in the public eye yet. I mean, it could be coming. Who knows?
And the difference, Chris, is there are still NFL games worth watching. It's not. Yeah. It's always going to be who stops the Patriots from the championship. But there's still NFL games that I'm like, this is a can't miss.
I guess I just don't like your game. You're making it sound like it's like one pro team and then 29 NCAA, or intramural teams playing. Like, it's, I guess maybe we watch basketball differently. Because I never got the whole, the Warriors are fun to watch, but there's definitely teams. I mean, last year, who was it? The Spurs? I mean, last couple years. I mean, it's competitive. I guess maybe that's where the disconnect is with me and you. Is you see one team and a bunch of intramural squads, and I don't. I mean, it's not going to hate on organizations for having good general managers or having a culture of winning.
The NBA's not.
No, I don't hate anybody for winning. I don't hate the players. I don't hate the league. I don't hate the general manager.
Well, you're making it sound like it's not fun like it wasn't fun to watch, like it wasn't competitive, and I disagree with that.
Okay, but how many teams are there in the NBA?
So you're telling me in 1997 when the Bulls were just dominating, it wasn't fun to watch?
It's not what I said.
It's just predetermined. Bulls are going to win. Bulls are going to win it. Wasn't fun to watch.
After like the third or fourth year, yeah, people were like, okay, Bulls. They're going to win it. However, this matchup here is going to be a good game. How many teams are in the NBA? There's 30 teams in the NBA. And over the course of talking about the NBA, you could pick maybe 4 or 5 that you're like, oh, that's the team to watch. That's the team to watch.
Did you do that with any league any given year?
No.
Really? You can't tell me.
Really?
Really? The last 15, 20 years, who's making the playoffs generally in the NFL? The Patriots, the Packers, who else? And in baseball, Yankees are always making it. Fucking the Giants have always been making it. Hockey, you can do that in any league, man. Like, I guess I just don't get your rub here. Like, it's nothing that's not in any of the other 4 leagues. There's always going to be teams that are managed better with better personnel.
Here's the thing. You're confusing my point here. There are powerhouse teams in every league. That's without a doubt. That's true. But there should be at least good games to watch. And in baseball, there are very good games to watch. Football, there are very good games to watch. Hockey, very good games to watch. In basketball, there just wasn't.
I disagree.
Okay.
I really disagree with that.
And that's fine. I have no problem with you disagreeing with me. I just, I go through the teams and LA, okay, they suck ever since Kobe left. They sucked before Kobe left. Golden State, they're going to be in the finals, and then just I keep moving through, and I'm like, well, at least you have San Antonio, and those in the games they're going to play. That's going to be a good one.
What about Boston? What about OKC?
Yeah.
What about the Heat before the Dream Team busted up down there?
No, you can't do that before the Dream Team busted up. No, we're talking about the past 3 years. The Heat is a non-factor. Teams that are a non-factor in the NBA. Yeah, the Toronto.
What about the Cavs? The team who actually won the NBA championship in 2016. What about them?
That's what I said. But teams that are a non-factor, the Raptors. What do you hear about them?
Dude, every league has shit teams. That's what I'm not getting this conversation. Every league, are you mad the NBA's got shit teams? All leagues got shit teams.
No, Chris, that is not my point. My point is, okay, it's not shit teams. It's not superpower teams. It's not elite teams. My point is, with the trades that have happened in the NBA, there's a lot more teams that have a lot more power, and it's a lot more entertaining to watch a lot more games during the season.
The 7 that have happened. All right, cool.
And like I said, if it keeps rolling the same way, then this is going to be a more entertaining season. The fact that the Golden State Warriors...
The first week's a great barometer in any professional sport.
The fact that the Golden State Warriors have played a total of 8 games out of 82, but have already lost 3.
So what? You don't go 82-0. I don't get what your point is on that.
The past 2 seasons, they've lost a total of 17. How do you not see that as a fucking point, dude? There's 164 games over a span of 2 seasons. They lost a total of 17.
What is your point, I guess, what is your point on that?
They have already in the man.
Because my retort to it is the law of averages, man. Dude, fucking shit's going to balance out. You go so long with...
Dude. With the trades that have happened in the NBA, I'm going to keep putting this to you until you get it. The game is now worth watching. It is evidenced by the fact that the Golden State Warriors, the top tier of NBA,
have played like shit and lost 3 games.
Have more competition to go against and have lost a total of 3 games out of 8.
I mean, do you want to talk about the great trades? The Pistons are in first. They made none of the great trades.
Dude. Last year, Golden State went 26-0. 26-0. They are a current.
And what are the odds you think they were going to do that again? Slim to fucking none, dude.
It's not about if they were going 26-0 again, boss. It's about that they've already lost 3 of 8. Okay? Last year, 26-0. They went 26 games before they lost a game. Okay? This year, they have lost 3 of their first 8. It is a more competitive league. It is a more entertaining league. And it's definitely a product that you want to watch now. You don't just have to sit back and wait.
2 of those losses were to 2 teams that made 0 spectacular offseason moves.
Okay, but wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me just interject something. Isn't this the best case scenario for the NBA, though? Last year, they had a team come out the gate 26-0, and this year they have a league that appears to have more parity. So they have the people who wanted to see a team do something historic like that. They got those people to watch last year, and this year the fact that the league has more parity is bringing back fans like you, Earl, who's like, I don't want to watch a team where I know it's going to be I don't even have to pencil it in. I can just take a pen and go, oh, that's a W, that's a W, that's a W. There's no fun in that.
Yeah, that is definitely the best case scenario. That's my point. All right? There are going to be super teams. It's still a question of who's going to stop Golden State. All of that remains. What I'm saying is what has changed and what is being evident in the first 7 to 8 games is this is a more competitive league. It's a more fun product to watch. You know, if you want to watch a couple of no-name teams and no super teams, definitely give it a look now because it's changed. Over the past 3 seasons, we've grown accustomed to this super team's going to win.
I'm sorry, I haven't heard anything that you said, Pastor, and you said there's no super teams. Because we've done several podcasts over the summer about it. There's 4 or 5 of them now.
It's not what I said, Chris. I said you're going to have your super teams, all right? But if you want to watch a no super team compete, you can now. The league has become more competitive.
All right. Well, it's a weekend. 7 games. They're 2 weeks in, pardon me. So we'll see. I'm going to let my balls off when Golden State's 40-3 in a month and a half.
Hey, what I want to know is what that pocket rat in the background of whichever one of y'all has it, what's that thing got to say about the NBA?
Apparently that's ICEman, because he says he'll be right back.
Oh, has he got himself a cute little poofy dog? Little foo-foo dog to carry around?
Maybe.
His emotional support animal when he watches the NBA?
And then the super competitive league, the 2-4 Lakers just pounded the shit out of the 5-2 Pistons.
Yeah, well,
dude, I just think it's too early to call anything in the NBA or in the NHL.
Well, dude, that's what I was going to bring up. Talk
to me after Christmas for both leagues.
Sparky Anderson had a famous saying, "Don't talk to me about how my team is doing until after 40 games." He felt that was the bare minimum sample size before you can start to really judge where a team's at and its place in the standings for that season. And I mean, even if you don't agree with that number, I think, a handful of games is a way too small sample size. I mean,
baseball, that's what? That's about 25% of the games.
Yeah, it's about a quarter of the season.
So yeah, if you break it down in NBA and NHL, it'd be
20 games.
Yeah, 20 games, 25, 20 games. So yeah.
Okay.
And talk to me at Thanksgiving.
Here's the problem though, Chris. Okay, with Major League Baseball and all of that, there's no team like the Warriors on that. Okay? There's no team like that like Cavaliers in baseball.
We can never talk in abstracts with you, can we, Iceman?
Yes, you can. But the problem is you haven't been conditioned to go, well, shit, here we go again. And for the past 3 years with the Warriors and Cleveland, we've been conditioned. And that's what I'm telling you has changed. Yes, they're playing shitty. Yes, there's more competition in the league. Yes, it's just better to watch because you don't know.
That had nothing to do with what me and Rich are talking about. But all right.
What?
No, we were talking about the barometer of how's your season doing.
Okay, and I got that. And what I was trying to tell you was at 8 games, okay, they've already lost 3. This is a team that in a total season of 82 games haven't lost more than 10 in 2 frickin' years. So the barometer for them set at only 8 games, because it's only been 8 games, and they've already lost 3, is shocking.
But I told you, 2 of their 3 losses were to 2 teams that didn't make any moves, any blockbuster moves.
I quit.
They lost to the Pistons. They lost to... But you're trying to tell me it's more competitive. They lost to... They didn't make any moves. They got the same team that won a championship. And then they lost to 2 teams that didn't make any of these blockbuster moves to make it more competitive, is what you're saying. They lost to the Pistons. They lost to the Grizzlies. Now, the one that does back you up is they lost to the Rockets, and they lost by a point.
Okay.
Well, to throw fuel on the fire, but in a different sport, it does kind of remind me of the first week or so into the NHL season and the hype surrounding certain teams and their record. I mean, the Wings came out of the gate way hotter than anyone thought they would. And despite winning tonight, they've, pretty much crashed back down to what we thought they'd be, a 500 team, But then on the other side of it, you have a team that no one predicted to do anything, and they're sitting at 8-3, and that's the Golden Knights. And a very interesting point about the Golden Knights is all this winning, how bad is it going to fuck them down the road? Because if you paid any attention to that expansion draft and you paid any attention to the moves they made, they were taking players and then trading them away for draft picks. And you don't do that unless you're counting on finishing near the bottom of the fucking standings. So it's counterintuitive, but while it might it might feel good for fans of the Golden Knights to have a winning team their first season, it's not going to feel good 10 years down the road when they have nothing to build on because they didn't have draft picks that were worth a shit. But I mean, ultimately, we'll see. We'll see if water finds its level. I mean, it's been 11 games for them. That's a little bit over half of what we were talking about. If you want to take a quarter of a season before you make a judgment on where a team is at, it would be 20 games. They're a little bit over halfway there. So I mean, see you in about 2 weeks, basically. But I mean, some surprising teams. You got the Oilers at 3-6, 3-6-1. I don't think many people saw that coming. But I mean, then you have the Wild team that made the playoffs, 500, 2 overtime losses. Blackhawks 500, 2 overtime losses. Predators a game above 500 with 2 overtime losses. I mean, these are all playoff teams. Then of course, Jesus God, the general manager that comes back to haunt Detroit, Steve Yzerman in Tampa with the Lightning at 10-2.
Yeah, buddy. Can I say I'm not a fan of this new layout of the NHL? I don't like 7 other people in your division. The fuck is that? That's like conference numbers.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either. I'm not a fan of how they do the playoffs either. I think it should be the top 8 teams from the East, top 8 teams from the West, and seed them that way.
Each one of these divisions should be cut in half.
Yeah,
there should be 8 fucking divisions basically.
Yeah, instead we have the Atlantic, the Metropolitan Division, the Central, the Pacific Division, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. But I mean, I don't like their playoff seeding. I don't like the way they do the draft. But I mean, that's just whatever. All these changes have came under the same person. So whatever. And there's no point in beating that dead horse because it's dust and bones at this point.
So when's the next expansion team coming in? Because one division with odd number of teams, the Central. The NHL has an odd number of teams right now.
I mean, I don't know where they could put a team in there. They would have to move somebody. I mean,
Central.
Yeah.
Boom.
I mean,
there's your Wisconsin hockey team right there.
That's not going to happen.
The Milwaukee, the Green Bay something.
I would think they would stick it somewhere down south. Not Atlanta because they already tried it with the Thrashers, but I would say Midwest to Southeast has a better chance of getting a new team than the northern part of the United States or Canada.
Bring the Whalers back. There you go.
Yeah, then what are you going to do? Are you going to move the Detroit back over into the Eastern or Western Conference and put them in the Central? I mean, what's funny is that the bitch of having a team like the Red Wings in the Western Conference was all the times that they had during the playoffs to go play teams on the West Coast and the time difference and et cetera, et cetera. And then after they send the Red Wings to the Eastern Conference, they divide it up to where what's the biggest time difference if the Wings would have stayed in the Eastern or Western Conference and been in the Central Division? It'd have been 1 hour. It'd have been no big deal. I mean, it's like, huh? It's one of those head scratchers. It's like I don't get that. So what was the point of moving them? But whatever.
Because commerce,
I guess. I mean, you got the Columbus Blue Jackets in the Metropolitan Division, but you have the Red Wings in the Atlantic Division. Huh? I mean, don't really get that, but okay. Whatever. It's the NHL. There's no point in arguing it.
Remember the Campbell Conference and the Norris Division and
yeah, it was back in the 80s. Back when hockey was still hockey. They let them fight, and amazingly, in all that fighting and all that clutching and grabbing, scoring was higher than it is now. It's amazing, but yeah, whatever. But yeah, I really wanted to kind of get into the Golden Knights thing, but I didn't get a chance to send you guys the article. And I mean, it's an article that I think it'll stand if I send it to you and you guys read it. It'll be a subject we can cover next week. But I mean, it really does kind of, and it's applicable to all sports, to any expansion team. There's always the danger of coming out and doing too well. Because, I mean, let's be honest, if the Red Wings have 5 down years and then all of a sudden turn it around, it's only going to take 1 or 2, maybe 3 winning seasons for Detroit, an original 6 team, to start to be a destination team again. A team where free agents will come to without having to overpay. Case in point, look at the Tigers. I mean, they had to basically, blow the bank to get, Pudge and Troy Percival out here. The next year to get Maglio out here. Once they went to the World Series, once they started, being a contender, that wasn't the issue. It wasn't that hard of an big of a deal to get players to sign here, even if you traded for them. I mean, if they had traded for a player like Miggy in the late 90s and went to go re-sign him, he'd have been like, oh, bitch, please, and left for the Yankees. Instead, I don't even think there was much talk of him going to another team. It was just a given he was going to re-sign with Detroit. It was just how much we're going to have to pay him to do so. So, but yeah, I guess that's a teaser for next week. And unless there's just a bunch of crazy sports stories that push it off the agenda, tune in next week and we'll go ahead and get into that one.
Watch, they lose every game between now and next week.
I mean, the point would still stand. That's why it's kind of, and it, like I said, it's just using them as the jumping off point. But I mean, it's like I said, it can be applied to all sports across the board.
Gotcha.
So have we come to that point in the show? We're just going to dive right into football?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I was checking my half-ass sports fan.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, go ahead.
The past 3 seasons, the Warriors have lost a total of 39. They've lost 15 once, or 15 twice, and 9 once. So
9 being last year.
What's that?
9 being last year.
2 years ago they lost 9. Last year they lost 15.
Oh, okay.
And the 2 years before that they lost 15 as well. So out of 246 games they won, or 249 games, they won a total of 206 and lost 39. My half-ass sports fan was showing, but I got it though.
Still, that's a hell of a win percentage.
No shit.
Give a fuck what sport you're in. That's a win percentage. The fucking a lot of coaches, a lot of general managers, a lot of cities would die for.
That's just job security for Steve Kerr. That's what that is.
That's job security for whoever their scout is. On the real, because they did that shit through the draft.
Well, I mean, as long as Steve Kerr can hold the team together, he just makes himself look like a genius, and that's all that really matters. I mean, he just has to look like he knows what he's doing, and who knows, man? At some points, it might be with some teams. It's like, man, I don't want to fuck with it because it's running well on its own. When your car's running fine, you don't tear it apart and rebuild it unless you're Well, that won't make sense to anybody but me and Earl. Unless you're one of those, type of guys that do that stuff. I have a friend that he can buy a brand new guitar professionally set up from the Gibson or Fender custom shop, and he'll tear the thing apart and build it back and then wonder why it doesn't play as well. And I'm like, gee, I don't know, dipshit, because you had a person whose entire job for their adult life is to build the fucking things, and you're an amateur taking it apart and putting it back together, going, I don't need these spare parts, and tossing them over your shoulder. That might have something to do with it.
I know a guy who could take a Stevie Ray Strat and make it look like a complete run-of-the-mill Fender.
Yeah, well, maybe he doesn't. Maybe since his name isn't Stevie Ray and no one's paying him to play it, he doesn't want to fucking be associated with another player. Who knows?
Yeah, anyways, that's probably true. It's too bad, though, because he plays very, very good when he plays Stevie.
Yeah, okay. Well, since this isn't a music podcast...
If you're still listening, this is Sporgy on Christopher Media.
Yes. There was a little bit of shakeup in the college football rankings because you got Georgia sitting at number 1, Bama sitting at 2.
Oh, my God.
Then you just have a fucking log jam in 3 through 8. You got Notre Dame at 7-1. Number 4, you got Clemson at 7-1. 5, Oklahoma at 7-1. 6, Ohio State at 7-1. 7, Penn State at 7-1. And TCU at 7-1. And Wisconsin sitting at 9 at 8-0. And round out top 10, you got University of Miami sitting at 7-0. So, see anything wrong with this picture?
Well, Georgia's number 2, right? Alabama's 1.
No, Georgia's number 1 in the playoff rankings.
Yeah, I'm looking at those. It says Georgia's 2, Alabama's 1.
What playoff rankings are you looking at?
NCAA football rankings.
I could tell you, Rich, looking at Wisconsin's schedule, they've beaten nobody ranked.
Well, I wasn't necessarily thinking of Wisconsin, but
and then let's look at the U.
Here, I just sent you the link for the college football rankings, and it's via ESPN. So I don't know, but I mean, again, once again, that doesn't mean anything. They could be full of shit. Can't believe I got to fucking fact check Snopes, call every writer at ESPN's grandmother to ask if he was dropped on his head or ate lead paint as a child just to see if these fucking things, these stories are legit anymore. But apparently I got to.
Yeah, you do, because on Google, the AP Top 25, Alabama's ranked 1, Georgia's 2, Ohio State's 3.
You're not listening to me, dude. The college. The playoff rankings are not the AP or the coaches poll. Yes, I know it makes no sense. No, I don't want to get into what the fuck's wrong with college football rankings all over again. It is what it is. But I mean, if the point is, if the playoffs started today, it'd be Georgia, Alabama, Clemson, and Notre Dame.
Yep. Now I see it. What is that, ABC or ABC is saying the same thing?
I mean, that leaves Ohio State on the outside, Oklahoma on the outside. And I mean, looking at, Ohio State, who else do they have left to play? It's all conference games. I mean, they have what? Michigan State, Michigan, Michigan's not even ranked anymore as far as the top 25 of college playoff rankings.
And State's about to join them.
Yeah, State's barely hanging on at 24. I mean, you got, let's see here, Ohio State, Penn State, Wisconsin, Michigan State. There you go. There's your Big Ten right there. That's in the playoff rankings. And I mean, to me, you could almost swap Ohio State and Penn State at 6 and 7, and it wouldn't matter that much. Yeah, you said it, Chris. Wisconsin's 8-0, but who have they really beaten? Nobody of any note.
Same thing with the U. The U was supposed to play FSU, and they were ranked, and by the time they made the game up, FSU was no longer ranked.
And hold on. If I'm not mistaken here, I thought that Notre Dame had been beaten. Excuse me. Yeah, they lost to Georgia. And, well, I guess Georgia's not in there, so it doesn't really matter. No, Georgia's number 1, excuse me. They lost to Georgia. And, see, this is where it's like, I feel like the ICEman. I'm like, the fuck, how do they come up with this bullshit? Alabama, Georgia, and Clemson are in divisions that are, or a division, it's a given, a hard one, whereas Notre Dame's an independent. So I guess that's what makes the difference on their strength of schedule. I mean, okay, USC, Michigan State, Georgia, who they lost to, Boston College. I mean, it's not like they beat powerhouse teams so far. And the teams they have left to play is Wake Forest, the U, Navy, and Stanford. And I mean, I can pretty much say that Wake Forest and Navy is a give me. I guess we'll find out what the U's made of when they play Notre Dame. And I mean, Stanford, they're sitting at 6 and 2. I don't know.
This has gotten even more fucked up than when I said, how do they come up with this shit? TCU lost to Iowa State. Iowa State is now ranked at 15 at 6 and 2, but yet TCU is still ranked at 8th at 7 and 1, losing to a 6 and 2 team, Iowa State. Get the fuck out of here. This makes zero sense. There is no way anybody can tell me how this all makes sense. Like, no way. You could point to schedule. You could point to, who they lost. This doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
Well, I thought the point of having the playoffs was to get, unless it was a clear-cut case of two teams from the same division, or same conference, excuse me, who were just dominating, was to get, you play your conference championship games, and the winners of those conference games, the top 4 of the out of the Power 5 conferences, went to the playoffs. That's what I thought the point of the college playoff system was, the point of expanding the Big Ten and of adding a championship game, which they've never had before until a few years ago.
Yeah, because you can't say you're a national champion if you had never played the other conferences.
I mean, as it stands, you got Georgia and Alabama sitting in the top 4, and an independent Notre Dame and Clemson. And let's say that these are the 4 teams that end up in the playoffs, just for shits and giggles. I mean, yeah, Notre Dame's going to draw because of its fan base. Clemson's been in it now for, years. Alabama, we don't even need to talk about them.
The mini Belichick? No.
And then Georgia. But, I mean, still, it's like you got 2 SEC teams, an independent, and, oh, fuck. What conference is Clemson in? Come on, help me out here, one of you two.
Pretty sure it's SEC, isn't it?
No. I don't think so. It's the ACC.
It was one of the other.
Oh, damn it. I said it. My mic wasn't on. Fuck. I'm sitting there going, ACC.
Over and over. ACC. Why don't you hear me?
ACC motherfucker.
But yeah, so I mean, if you're one of those people who root for, well, if my team's not winning, I root for the conference my team's in, then I guess you can take some solace that you got 3 teams in the top 10 as far as the playoff rankings. But I'm not one of those people. I root for Michigan. Fuck everybody else in that conference. If Michigan ain't winning, I don't want them to win. Fuck, I want them to win for. But yeah, so I mean, it's 8 games. We'll see. We're getting to the end here, and we're getting to the nitty gritty. But I mean, I think it's safe to say that this is going to go down as a missed opportunity if you're being polite about it, and completely blowing the opportunity, if you want to be blunt about it, for Michigan. And I would almost say that this is almost worse for a State fan, because you didn't expect this out of State, but then you're like, oh, you're playing better than we expected, but you're still 6-2. What the fuck? If you're gonna play above your pay grade, you got to keep playing above your pay grade here. But the one thing I will say, that Michigan game, what happened? What did Jesus in khakis do? He put the young guy in at quarterback. Wasn't a blowout, like I said he should do if it was a blowout, but he did it. And what happened? Breathed a little bit of life into that offense, more so than it was there with O'Corn playing. So maybe he is feeling a little bit of warmth coming from his ass region. And if he is, good. Fuck it. He needs to feel it. He shouldn't be getting comfortable there. 3 seasons in, and you're not even sniffing a Big Ten championship. No, that's unacceptable. Now, for what? The second highest paid coach in college football, only behind Nick Saban, maybe the third highest paid. I can't remember if there's another coach that makes less than Saban but more than Harbaugh.
Hey man, but I know people that'll tell you he shouldn't be on the hot seat. He needs next year. The Michigan slappies I know keep saying it's one more year. He needs till next year. Next year's his make or break year, because he's still dealing with his seniors this year are still, what's his name's, hoax.
I understand that, but my problem is this time next year, they're sitting at 6-2. What are they saying then? Are they beating the drum to fire them? You lose the State next year, in my opinion, gotta go. See ya. Sorry, dude. I mean, I'm not trying to run State down. I'm just speaking factually. If you look at the records, even if you cherry pick from recent history and look at the records, out of your rivals, out of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan State, Ohio State, you don't play Notre Dame anymore, but out of the 4 teams in your conference that are considered your rivals, State is, if not the easiest to beat, they're one team above the easiest to beat. Because I don't really know if you consider Minnesota a rival, but I've heard some Michigan fans say yes, some say no, but whatever. But I definitely think, you gotta win against State. 500 after 4 years, I'll swallow that pill. I'm just gonna need a lot of water to swallow it. 1-3 after 4 years, you gotta go, dude. Sorry, because you ain't got a shot of beating Ohio State. You don't have a snowball's chance in hell. And if you ain't gonna beat Ohio State, the fuck are you doing? You're gonna be hearing, little brother, huh? Little brother just got in your ass for yet another year.
I personally can't take the playoffs seriously anymore. I just can't.
Well, is that a callback to the conversation we were having before?
Yeah.
U of M?
No, it's with U of M. Even if U of M was ranked number 2 or 1 or whatever, that whole system I can't take seriously.
Really? So if U of M went to the national championship game, you'd just be like, oh, whatever.
For me, it would be, because there's no rhyme or reason how they come up with these fucking standings, man. I mean, could you imagine if the NFL worked the same way the college ranking did? Dude, the Lions would be in the fucking playoff picture every fucking year. Yeah, we lost to Green Bay, but we beat Chicago and Minnesota. We're in. That's stupid. Yeah, we lost to Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers, but we beat the shit out of New York. That makes us in. It's just that there's no rhyme or reason how they come up with these standings and these rankings. I mean, it leaves the door wide open for tinfoil hat. People with the school that has the most money is getting the best ranking. Because you can't go by win-loss records, and you can't go by who they lose to, and then you want to point to the schedule strength, and we tried that. It's like if you have the most money and you actually do win all your games, or most of them, well, you got a shot.
When did we do that?
What are you talking about?
The schedule strength. I think my mic might have been off, but yeah, there was a couple teams. I made a case for schedule.
No, last show, Chris, you talked about schedule strength.
Yeah.
Right.
And I thought I'd made a pretty strong case for it. You beat a bunch of ranked teams, you get ranked higher.
But you lose to an unranked team and you're still up there?
Yeah, because you've still beaten somebody.
Okay.
You beat a bunch of. That's why Wisconsin's where they're at. Wisconsin's 8-0, but they beat a bunch of nobodies. They've not one person they beat is ranked. That's why they're where they're at. I mean, okay, I'm not saying.
To you, I'm not saying it. To me, it doesn't. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying it explains all of the system because I think the system is flawed too. But I'm saying you're acting like you're dumbfounded. I'm saying there's a little bit of method to the madness. You don't get to be number one if you've beaten. A bunch of teams that are, 1-6. But anyway,
yeah.
Can you talk about the pros?
I would love, nothing more for Michigan to be in the playoff hunt. It's not going to happen. And if it did, I couldn't figure out how they got there.
Michigan and State will both be playing in the Nobody Cares Bowl this year.
Truth.
Because Michigan State has to play Penn State this weekend. Good fucking luck.
Everybody gets a trophy.
Not there. They'll take the trophy and they'll stick it in your ass in a rhythmic motion in the shower. And then they won't tell anybody. That's how they get down at Penn State. But we're already almost 3 hours in, so let's talk about the pros. Let's talk about last week. Let's talk about week 8. Let's talk about I don't know who the fuck the Baltimore Ravens are. I cannot figure out who they are this year.
I got it.
I mean, great, yeah, you picked the winner of the game this week, but I'm just saying in general. I don't know if they're good. Do they suck? Are they just lucky?
They're a 40-degree day, bro. They're a 40-degree day. Joe Flacco is an elite quarterback. Their defense isn't stand-up and amazing, but they're good enough to blank the Dolphins. Woohoo. It's the Dolphins.
Well, the Dolphins were a 4-2 team when the Ravens went in and blanked them.
Yeah, but not with Jay Cutler. That was more at QB.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Moore won in that fourth game. Cutler was out most of that game. Matt Moore played most of their fourth victory. And then, too, I mean, Ryan Mallett ended up playing for the Ravens. I mean, I think both of these teams are but I mean, it's just, where's the fucking Ravens? Yeah, all of a sudden the Ravens are 3-4 going into that game, and then they just stomped the shit out of the Dolphins and said half the game with Ryan Mallett. And I don't know who the Ravens are this year. I mean, but maybe their record right now indicates it. Maybe they are a 500 team.
Yeah, that's where I see them.
But because who do you throw the ball to? Jeremy Maclin, Mike Wallace. What is this, 2011? I mean, I don't know, man. And I don't know, the Dolphins are, no, thank you. I mean, too, and they just, well, I mean, we're talking about last week's games. We were kind of bearing the lead with the trade deadline while we're talking about the Dolphins. They sent Jay Ajayi to Philadelphia. Garoppolo goes to San Francisco.
Wait, back up one.
What's that?
Ajayi's in Philly?
Yeah, man.
Oh, fuck.
That went down last night.
Yeah, for a 4th-round pick.
Oh, shit.
But
they did not need that.
They do. They need a running game in Philly.
Really? Because their offense is struggling?
There's two parts to offense and football there, Chief.
Oh, I completely agree with you, Chris. I do. But you have a very high-powered, very effective offense. Adding a Ajayi to that?
Yeah.
Oh, you're screwed now. You were screwed
before.
They
want to win.
Now you're fucked. Now you're just screwed without the loop. That's the difference here.
I mean, they're 7-1. They want to ensure that there's your 14-2, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I don't dispute that, not even a little bit.
His name Kelvin Benjamin went to the Bills because Tyrod Taylor and LaShawn McCoy can't do it all themselves. And then I'm missing one. There's a fourth one, wasn't there, Rich?
I can't think off the top of my head.
Let me look this up again.
Yeah, that just mind-blown me. Wow.
Yeah, Kelvin Benjamin goes to the Bills. Ajay goes to the Eagles. Garoppolo to the Niners. No, never mind. I guess there's only 3 big trades.
Yeah, but the Garoppolo trade was a horrible trade for 49ers. Absolute bullshit. You had a decent quarterback, a solid quarterback in Beathard.
Really? They're 0-8.
That wasn't under Beathard. That was under Hoyer.
But Hoyer hasn't played for like 3 weeks. I'm just saying. And at 0-8, it don't matter. Whatever you're doing ain't working. You got to do something. He's a better quarterback than
something. That was the something, really.
He's a better quarterback than anyone that's on their roster as a quarterback. And then Hoyer is more than likely going to end up back with the Patriots. I'm telling you, this opens the door for Cap, man. He goes back to the team that he left anyway. But so those are the trades that went on. And let's go back to last week. We talked about Thursday night. Come on, computer.
Cleveland scored. Can you believe that?
Yeah, your theory's all done, asshole. In London, both teams scored. So take your tinfoil hat and throw it away.
Yeah, what? 1 in 4 games, both teams scored? I'll pop your cork later.
So no one's going to score except for the winning team in London. So Cleveland scored. Well, okay, so 1 out of the 4 teams that lost scored. My point still stands.
No, my goalpost moved. Fuck you.
All right.
That's funny. They scored. They didn't even come close to winning, though.
Yeah. That's because they're fucking Colts. Or they're the Browns, man. We'll get to the Colts later. Seahawks and Texans. This is a shootout. I can tell you, this game for me, I am a believer in Deshaun Watson after this game.
This is a game that made... So's Richard Sherman. Did you hear some of the shit Richard Sherman's been saying?
No.
He's saying, we played all the legends. Deshaun Watson's going to be one of them one day. He said it's the best any quarterback's ever played against them, period.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, this is a game that made him a man, and I wasn't buying him up until this. I mean, dude, this shit was a shootout, man. This shit was fun to watch.
Agreed. And disagreed all at the same time. I don't know how the Texans lost that one. That was weird.
They had a little man at quarterback named Russell Wilson.
Yeah, but they had a stranglehold on him.
Lost that game.
Somehow they lost the grip. I don't know what happened there.
Russell Wilson, the troll of the NFL. Just when you think you're about to win, he comes in the last second. Oh, no, sorry about that. That's what he does. He's been doing it since he came in. He's been doing it since, what's the nickname of that game? The one that was the end of the replacement refs.
Oh, shit. Where they got it wrong. It was them in Green Bay.
Yeah, there's a nickname for that game.
I can't remember. Right, I know the game you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, Seahawks, I think we would... I had this thought about the Seahawks this week. We've all this talk about the Steelers being a second-half team, which this year they're kind of a first-half team, if you look at the record. But the Seahawks, I think the last few years have become that second-half team. They're never really super dominant right away, but guess who always ends up in the playoffs? The Seahawks. They even got themselves a ring or 2 out of the deal. But while we're talking about that, while we're talking about the Steelers and the Lions. Not the butt fucking I thought it was going to be.
God, that was a boring first half.
Yeah.
I fell asleep. Mm-hmm. I hit you guys in the group text, said, could this game be more boring? And then dozed the fuck off not long after that. I mean, here's the bitch of it. Prater could have won you that game on his foot. I don't know what the fuck is going on with the receivers. First of all, Ebron, you got to go. Like, seriously, I'd have traded him for a bag of balls after this week and his comments. In fact, let me give you his comments. Because I couldn't believe fucking... He's got... Really? Okay, not really. I'm going to have to dig. All right, hold on, guys. Another editing point. All right, well, anyways, okay, so trade deadline was Tuesday. It's come and gone now. We're a little bit after midnight on Tuesday. Apparently there was teams showing interest in Ebron, but there was no deal imminent. He's caught 13 passes for 102 yards this season.
Oh, slow down.
He told the Detroit Free Press earlier this month that he's been in the dumps and hasn't been mentally as engaged as I should be. But he did say that becoming a first-time father has given him a new outlook on his life and job. And I'm trying to find the fucking, like, the exact comments. But basically... Google's not going to fucking work with me.
I got from mlive.com yesterday, or should say Monday. He said, look, I'm going to be happy no matter the decision. If I'm here, I'll be happy. If I go anywhere else, I'm going to be happy. That's just how I roll, man. Shoot, I've been to about 10 schools in 1 year in New Jersey. I'll be all right.
Yeah. Isn't this his equivalent to, man, I got kids?
Yeah. All right, Prince.
I mean, it's really what it is. And, dude, how many fucking times has he dropped a pass for no good reason? Just on the highlights alone, I counted 3 drop passes that Stafford threw to receivers that were in the end zone or during a red zone, and when they were in the red zone, or they dropped the passes in the end zone.
You want to hear something that he said today, the day that we recorded this?
Sure.
Do the same website, mlive.com? I mean, look, 99% of the people in that audience could not come out here and do that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, those were tough grabs. I get paid to make those grabs, yes, but too damn tough. Damn, I mean, cut a brother some slack. I mean, it's rough, you know? Really? That's your comment? It's hard to catch them footballs.
99% of people sitting in the stands couldn't go out there and drop a pass that's thrown to them. Okay. All right.
Well, I can tell you 100% of the people in the audience are not professional football players. It's not in their skill set to catch passes from Matthew Stafford or an NFL quarterback. Mr. Ebron.
You guys almost done?
There.
Oh, you guys almost done?
Why, is your tongue missing the asshole of the Lions? Okay, go ahead.
Oh, no. Nope. I'm going to come out and I'm going to tell you, fuck the Lions, man. I'm on a homer until I die. I'm going to dance with the date that brought me. I'm going to go down with the stick of shit. I could do this all night. Fuck the Lions. I cannot fucking believe that they lost yet another one. All right? And fuck you for signing Matt Stafford to that big fat contract. How in the fuck can you get that close 3 fucking times to the end zone and not make a score? I don't want to hear that Ebron can't catch a pass or we don't have a running game or shit happens. 3 times?
Who was the running back they gave the ball to 4 times and he got a total of 1.5 yards? When they had when they were trying to punch it in and they were on the goal line. Who was that running back?
Washington?
Was it him?
Yes.
Dude, they have no power back. Their offensive line couldn't make a hole in Jell-O.
Uh-huh.
What in the fuck is going on? And you don't understand because you don't live up here. Jim Bob Cooter has been called the second coming of Christ by Lions fans for the last couple seasons now.
Oh, okay, but also because I don't live up there, okay, I actually see what the hell's going on. These guys, I swear to everything I'm worth, They had playoffs on a silver fucking platter. My 14-2 prediction was spot on. Because there's no way, with the team they had, with the schedule they had, that they couldn't have gone that. They can't finish. They can't get the job done. They're still going to get paid. Now, Rich wouldn't get paid if he didn't finish his job. He could go through the whole delivery process, but if he didn't deliver, no payment. I could do my whole job, go through the whole process. If I don't deliver the car, I don't get paid. You go to the bedroom. This goes through life itself. You can go through the whole process. If you can't get the job done, you don't get paid. And they'll find somebody who will. Unless you're the Detroit fucking Lions. And they're going to stick with you until you sink them. And then they'll just point at you and go, well, that's why we lost. No, motherfucker. It's because you guys don't know what the fuck you're doing up there. There's no fucking way they lost this game. They shouldn't have lost this game. They shouldn't even come close to losing this game. The defense was spot on, holding Bell, holding Roethlisberger. They let Schuster get behind him once. Woohoo. There's no way they lose this game, except for they're the Detroit Lions. And that's always our go-to ending. Well, it's the fucking Lions. Yeah.
See what happens when you set your sights high? You get bummed out.
You always tell me that I set the bar low. Well, I set it extremely high because I knew that they could do it. They had everything they needed to do it. It was the right time. It was their time, and they just fucked it up. Fucking Green Bay has lost Aaron Rodgers for the season. That was our Achilles heel.
Though, look, now the Vikings are 6-2.
Right. And we should have been, but no, we're not even close to it no more. Now we got to fight if maybe we make the playoffs.
Because we don't have the pieces.
We had the pieces. No.
Really? Really? Because Golden Tate's been injured. Who do we got?
No.
We don't have a running back.
We didn't
make a running back move in the offseason. We never had the pieces.
We have the highest paid fucking player in the NFL. We have pieces. All right?
They have a tight end who can't catch the ball.
I'm absolutely done giving excuses for this fucking team. And I told you that if they fuck up this fucking schedule, I'm done with excuses. There isn't one. They can't get the fucking job done. End of fucking file. End of story. They can't get it done. They won't get it done. And that's it. I'm going to pick them. I'm going to pick them all season long. And I'll go down with them. I don't give a fuck. But they can't get the job done. I'm done making excuses. Oh, Ebron can't catch. Tate's hurt. Quinn got injured. Jared got injured. I don't give a fuck. You're a professional football team. You had the pieces. You had them all. You had a speed back. You had a semi-power back. You had a great back out of the fucking backfield.
Who are these backs you speak of?
What?
Who are these backs you speak of?
Amir Abdullah is a good speed back. Is a good speed back.
Who's been underwhelming all season long?
No. See, you want to go back to excuses. I'm done with that shit, dude. Amir Abdullah is a great speed back. Okay? Washington was a good power back. All right? Riddick's a great back to catch passes out of the backfield. You could throw to him out of the backfield. Okay? They had the pieces. They didn't get the job done. They're not communicating with each other. They're not melding as a team. They're not coming together. That's the bottom line. They're not coming together and getting the job done. They're individuals trying to work. That's not going to work on a football field. It never has, and it never fucking will. And I'm absolutely 100% done saying it's this, it's this. No, it's them. It's just fucking them. It's all of them. It's the players. It's the fucking managers, general managers, the owners. It's all of them. It's the fucking Detroit Lions. And they'll never get it done.
I'm going to tell you something. This franchise, I mean, I guess you could make somewhat of an argument for the Cleveland Browns as the most snake-bit franchise. But, I mean, for a charter member of the NFL to never went to their championship game, to the Super Bowl, to have it, how many times in the last 6-7 years now have the Lions had the brass ring bouncing off of the tip of their nose? All they had to do is reach out and take it, and they shit the bed. I mean, this is
Last season?
It wasn't the only season.
Yeah.
No, they had the number one defense in the league with Sue and all of them.
In what, 2012? What did they do with that season? Nothing. I mean, this is
lost to the Saints in the first round.
I mean, this is getting. This is no longer, what do you call it? Oh well, it's the general manager, it's the culture of the team. This is just, this team can't get over the hump. It can't get out of its own way. It can't get all on the same page at the same time. When the defense is smoking, the offense is stumbling. When the offense is smoking, the defense is stumbling. When the front office is making good draft picks, they can't keep the players they have happy. Dude, there were 3 teams, including the Eagles and I can't remember the other 2 teams, but I know for sure, contacting Detroit going, what do you want for the rights to Calvin Johnson? What do you want for his rights? Now, let me ask you a question. Why would those 3 teams do that unless they had talked to Calvin Johnson or had someone who they trusted had talked to Calvin Johnson and said, yeah, he's open to coming back, but he ain't coming back for the Lions, which has to tell you everything you need to know. And here's the bitch of it. What do the Lions do? They dig their heels in and go, nope, we're not going to trade his rights away. You might as fucking well, he ain't ever going to play for you ever again. He's never putting that uniform back on. You might as well get something.
Part of Barry Sanders.
What did you get for Barry and holding on to his rights? Absolutely nothing. So get something for his rights. Trade him away. Let him become another fucking NFL city's problem. With, will he come back? Won't he come back? Remove that question. Because it's not a uniquely Detroit thing, but of all the places I've lived in this country, I hear it the most in Detroit. Freshly retired players, there's always, they're going to come back. Whether the team's doing good or the team's doing bad. Yeah, but I mean, okay, when Lindstrom retired and the Red Wings were struggling on defense, it was, he's going to come back and play. No, he's not. When the Lions, their kicker situation was up in the air, it was, Hanson's going to unretire and come back. That's going to put us over the top. Jason Hanson's going to put you over the top. You had Jason Hanson for 21 years and couldn't do shit with him. He's been retired for 1 year. 2 years into his retirement, he's going to come back, and you think that's going to solve all the Lions' problems.
Good God, I sound like I'm going to defend the organization, but I do believe in the whole Calvin Johnson sweepstakes. Part of trading away his rights is he has to agree to come back. So if they didn't trade away rights, it means that he wasn't down.
Well, if he doesn't agree to come back, and that's part of trading away his rights, then so be it. But I'm going to tell you this right now. That was not brought up, period, in any of the articles or news stories I listened to or read the last couple days. Now, it doesn't mean shit. Because, I mean, how many times have we proven on this show? We've reported something, and then boom, within 24 hours, something else gets reported. That's exactly the fucking opposite of what the fuck we just reported. But, I mean,
my source would be the Fantasy Focus podcast with Matthew Berry. They were talking about that, and they were saying for that to go down is he has to agree to come out of retirement for his rights to be traded away.
Well, no matter what, I don't want to spend any more time on the Lions, but this is just, it's pathetic, it's sad, and I'm right back to where I usually am with you guys pretty much every fucking year, which is, I just feel sorry for you. I just feel sorry for Lions fans. You guys are long-suffering, and you deserve a lot better than fucking this. Period. That's all there is to it.
I knew this team's number after the Falcons game. To me, that was Sorry. Pardon me. To me, that was the test. That was the first real test of the season, was the Falcons. And as soon as they blew it, it's like, well, yeah, no, nothing's changed. And here we are, halfway through the season, sitting sub 500. Next.
And, you know,
See
here's
next
the bitch.
year.
Here's the bitch of it. It was kind of the same way for me, but it had nothing to do with. It was just, wait a minute. I just don't believe that they'd have fucking reversed that fucking call against one of the marquee teams. Fuck it. Maybe they would have. Maybe I don't know. Whatever. But I was just like, wow, this is boom. This is
just for
this
me.
Is the Lions for you.
Well, just two for me. It's just also, you know, you haven't made any changes in your organization to not get beat on a technicality like that. That's what I'm like. We're still not there. You know, if we're up by 2 scores and that shit happens, it doesn't fucking matter. But we still put ourselves into place to get beaten by the refs, by ourselves, by fucking the process or whatever. We love to put ourselves in those positions.
I get that, but I still had hope at that point because I still think we beat them. I'm with Rich. That call doesn't get overturned if it's the Patriots. Okay? And we did what we were supposed to do. By all accounts, we beat the Falcons. And who did we beat? The team that made the Super Bowl appearance the year before. Okay? This wasn't like we let the refs beat us and we played Cleveland. This was the team that went to the Super Bowl. Okay?
I know, but dude.
So I wasn't very upset about that.
Ultimately,
I really wasn't.
Ultimately, what matters is what column did they put that game in, and they put it in the L column. And I mean, I understand it's frustrating,
but I was proud of how they played.
Okay, I get that, but I understand, but it doesn't change the fact. There's no. Maybe in the locker room, as far as team morale, there's moral victories, but there's no moral victories when it comes to the fucking win-loss at the end of the year. And the NFL has made it crystal clear, you are not a team we're going to give the benefit of the doubt to. God forbid they find themselves with a head coach or a GM who plays fast and loose with the rules, because the NFL will come down with the almighty hammer of Thor and bury it elbow deep up their ass, dude. They're not going to get away with shit because they don't care. The Ford family owns them. They're not going to sell them anytime soon. The Ford family knows the fans are going to come out. They count on people like you. I don't care. They're my team no matter what. I don't care. They're my team no matter what. You just keep repeating that mantra, and you'll keep repeating and getting what you get. I admire you not jumping ship and going, fuck it, I'm going to root for another team. But at the same time, when my teams suck, I don't continue to give them my fucking money. Doesn't mean I don't support them. Doesn't mean I'm not a fan of the team, but you ain't getting my goddamn money. Sorry about that. Not happening. You're going to have to find someone else to subsidize this bullshit you put on the field every Sunday. Believe me, it has been a decade since I bought anything that had Tampa Bay Buccaneers on it. That's not a coincidence. But anyways, we got to move on. This is not a fucking Lions podcast.
Yes. Speaking of bullshit on the field, every Sunday, the Browns drop the Vikings 6-2. Telling you guys, the Vikings are going to win this division this year. The Vikings are at 6-2 with their backup quarterback. Just putting that out there.
The Vikings are going to win this division, tripping backwards ass first into the end zone is what they're going to fucking do.
Mm-hmm.
Vikings have no business winning this division. Period.
Yeah.
They're not world beaters. A healthy fucking a healthy Aaron Rodgers, they're not even close to sniffing his asshole to get a win.
They're on their backup quarterback. They're on their backup running back.
Exactly.
And they're 6-2.
But this is unfortunately, this is how sports play out. Mm-hmm. Sometimes teams don't deserve to be there or there. So,
but we can also remember, didn't the Vikings go like 7-1 the first 8 last year, and then ended up finishing like 3rd?
Oh, so, they got a history of gagging on it. So yeah, we'll see.
Speaking of gagging on it, the Raiders, huh? Wah wah.
You're all done.
That's the team I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's going on with the Raiders. At some points, it's like, okay, you're rising above, you're overcoming, you're improvising, you're adapting, and then at other points it's like, what the fuck am I watching? Why am I watching this shit? Why are you wasting my time on Red Zone with showing anything to do with the Raiders?
And the Bills are 5-2. Again, what is this? 1989? Jim Kelly playing quarterback.
Oh, they're gonna have a good time going back to going to 4 straight Super Bowls and losing them all.
Yeah, I know, right? The Bengals barely beat the Colts. And the Colts,
a miracle interception.
I don't know how the Colts have won 2 games this year. That is just a bad football team. Like, they do not look good. And the Bengals, that's another team I don't know who you are. One week you're good, the next week you barely beat the Colts. I don't know.
Bengals are Tiger, Lion. Yeah, they're the same thing.
Pats beating the Chargers. I mean, nothing new there. I mean, it seems like New England. They're New England. And everyone knew when they lost that first game, and the sky was falling. I mean, didn't all 3 of us go, yeah, they'll be fine? Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah, trust the process.
A team that I believe all 3 of us shat on. I said don't count them out at the beginning of the season, but the Saints, surprisingly, 5-2. Great, yeah, you beat the Bears, but still, did you guys think halfway into the season we were talking about the 5-2 Saints?
No, and I still don't think they're big.
5-2, no. 4-3, maybe. I told you they were going to play spoiler to a lot of fucking teams' days. I didn't think that they would be actually, well, I mean, honestly, I fucked up and put my hope that Tampa Bay would actually be better than they were, so they would be sitting at the, near the top of their division. But, when you score 3 fucking points, kind of hard to win a game.
Against the Panthers. Muscle Hamster's pretty much been a non-factor since he came back, huh?
I told you.
That should have non-factor in the back of his uniform.
Yeah, Jameis, man, he needs some help.
It is extremely rare when running backs start that steep downhill dive that they're able to pull out of it. I mean, as of right now, the only one, and he's only had 1 good game this season that you can even remotely start to say might be pulling out of it, is AP in Arizona. But 1 game doesn't doesn't complete a comeback. Gonna have to see next week.
Let's see here. I think the Falcons barely beating the Jets. That's everything you need to know about the Falcons this year. I mean, I think we've discussed this is, yes, they have a winning record, but I mean, I think this is the Super Bowl hangover team. No doubt, because, yeah, you barely hung on to beat a 3-5 team, a sub-500 team. Yeah. Any surprises with the Eagles and the 49ers? Surprised it wasn't 53-10?
Yeah, I was going to say, it was so close.
Yeah, for that game, that was close. Cowboys beating the Redskins. I mean, I don't know what... the Redskins, you're another team I don't know who you are this year. You basically have the same personnel, except you swapped out Deshaun Jackson for Terrell Pryor for Kirk Cousins to not throw to him as much as he didn't throw to Deshaun Jackson. I mean, I don't know. Zeke went out of his mind. Yeah. I mean, that's... And then the Monday night game, fucking all I needed was a goddamn big game out of Kareem Hunt. But I knew that was going to happen. Broncos are good at stopping the run. They suck against tight ends. And they're so against the pass. Like... knew that shit was going to happen, but the Chiefs, man, and really, honestly, I would like to see if an Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl.
I'd watch that.
The Chiefs have already showed they got what it takes to take down the GOAT. That defense is insane in Kansas City. I don't think enough people are talking about that defense this year.
Yeah, with Houston, it's terrible. Oh.
Dude, it looked like that game was going to get out of hand early. This could have been a very different football game. But, yeah, I mean, so we're halfway through the season, really. Any before we make the picks, any surprises? Are any surprises so far this season? I mean, I can tell you the Raiders, for me, are a surprise, but not in a good way. I mean, we were all pretty high on the Raiders.
Definitely the Raiders.
8 weeks ago.
The Lions are a huge, huge, huge disappointment to me, and I've stated my opinion on that.
I don't know. I don't know if there's more disappointments than surprises for me, I guess. I mean, you have
glasses half empty, huh, Rich?
Well, I mean, I guess you'd say I am surprised by how well the Eagles are doing. I did say that they, not to sleep on them, that they were going to do better than most people were giving them a chance to do. But I didn't know they were going to be this fucking good. I can't take credit for that. I mean, I could sit here and bullshit, a.k.a. ICEman, my way through it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to be honest. I didn't know they were going to fucking be one of the best teams in the fucking league this year.
I believe they are the best. I believe they're the only team at 7-1.
Well, I mean, look. Chiefs stumbled for 2 weeks in a row, and I mean, there was a lot of people saying if they lose Monday night's game, that was it. You can put the fork in them, they're done. And I was like, look, even if they lose Monday night's game, don't plan the funeral before the body's dead. All right. Yeah. That team, I think the Chiefs are onto something this season that I don't know. When I watch them play, I get the feeling that they never have the feeling the game is out of reach.
Yeah.
Like, no matter, there's almost a calm, sereneness about them versus, other teams they get behind. Even if they come back, there's almost a manic, like, oh shit. And I don't know. I guess it's an intangible. I can't explain it any better than that. So,
well, the thing that they have on the Eagles that I see is they're proficient on both sides of the ball. The Eagles got some work to do on defense, but the Chiefs, I mean, they got a great offense and they got a great defense. No matter, quite honestly, you watch them play and it's like neither side really needs any work. The offense goes out there, they're coming away with at least 3. The defense is going out there, they're forcing a 3 and out, or the way this Chiefs defense has been going all year, they're picking the damn ball off.
Yeah. Well,
like, I really,
we'll see. You said an Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl. To me, that sounds like the most interesting matchup out of the possible matchups in the playoff picture right now.
We could sit here and fillet the Patriots all we want, but I think right now, halfway through the season, road to the AFC goes to the Chiefs.
Just don't tell Belichick that.
No, he's getting soft in his old age. He showed an emotion a couple weeks ago. Saw a smile.
I actually saw
that field goal.
I actually saw a picture of him standing next to his old lady, and he had a full-on smile. So, I was like, oh my God, he is human.
It would have been hilarious if he made that face that he always makes, standing next to his wife. He's always on. So, all right, this one may hit we may hit a record this week. We'll see. So let's just get right into the picks. Earl, we still stay deadlocked.
Seriously, I had a great week. I had 2 that I missed?
Yeah, so did I. They're just different too. So we both went 13-2. Rich, though, beat the crap out of both of us. Or no, I'm sorry. We went 12-3. Rich went 13-2. So we are at 622, 84-51. Rich is at 563 at 76-59. It's coming for us. So let's just start with Thursday night foosball. TNF, I believe the kids call it. Buffalo at New York. Be a great matchup in the 80s. but it's happening tonight. Well, the night it is posted. The show is posted, I should say. I mean, quite honestly, the Jets are at home, and that Buffalo defense ain't no joke. Give me the Bills.
Yeah, give me the Bills.
Yeah, we might not know who the Bills are, but they're definitely better than the Jets and the Bills.
You know, the Jets sitting at a losing record, I'd call them one of my surprises for this year, because I thought they'd be the likes of your Clevelands, your San Franciscos, your Ophers. But, yeah, all right, good for them. All right, Sunday games. I believe there's like 6 teams on a bye this week. It's nuts. It's like last week, kind of. Baltimore at Tennessee. Yuck.
Oh, there's a lot of yuck this week.
Give me the Titans. I like the Titans' offense better.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna break with you on this one. I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
And you are not alone. Yeah, I'm definitely going with the Ravens on this one. I don't like their quarterback, but I love their defense. And I think the Ravens are definitely better than anything Marcus can bring.
Aw, Rich, here you go. Divisional matchup.
Pick.
Bucks at the Saints.
Are they spoiled?
Give me the Saints.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything from the Bucks this year that tells me that they're going to beat the Saints. So give me the Saints.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bucks on this one.
Did you lose a bet?
No, I didn't lose a bet, but I also don't think the Saints have what it takes to stop the wide receivers of the Bucks. And I definitely think their defense can stop Drew Brees. He's got nothing for him.
Yeah, I mean, because that Bucks pass rush. Woo! Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's terrible against other teams.
Picks. He's allowed to have his pick. Let him live his truth, Rich.
Okay.
Next up, the Rams at the Giants. Hey, come on. Really? I can't believe it's like 1999 all over again. Give me the Rams.
Rams.
Oh, most definitely. No Jeff Fisher. Give me the Rams. What the hell?
Next up, the Broncos heading to Philly. Give me fucking Philly. That Broncos offense is a mess.
Hey, Philly. Come on now.
Oh, without question. Yeah, the defense has absolutely left the Broncos, which was their staple. And now their offense is exposed, especially without Peyton Manning. So, that was easy. Where's my Staples button?
Atlanta at Carolina.
Ew.
I like the Falcons' offense better than I like Carolina's. Especially since Calvin Benjamin's missing now. Give me the Falcons.
Yeah, I've talked a lot of shit about the Falcons, but I'm with you. I like them better than the Panthers, so go ahead and give me the Falcons.
I'll be on an island. Give me the Panthers. They're at home. He needs a win.
Wonder what he'll dress up like this week. Next, we have the Bengals at Jacksonville. This all hinges on Leonard Fournette playing or not. Think he's going to play. That Jacksonville defense ain't fucking around this year. Cincinnati's got running back by committee. But they have A.J. Green on the road. And give me the Bengals.
Coin flip, but I don't do that, so I'm going to go with my other way to choose. I'm going to go with the home team. Give me the Jaguars.
Speaking of surprises, the Jags. I called this, way back when I said that the coaching has changed, and so is the demeanor.
You called it, but it's a surprise? How does that work?
Because I didn't expect them to be this good. It's kind of like Rich with Philly. I knew they were going to be good and better, but I didn't expect them to go fucking balls out.
Fair point. All right, I'll give you that one.
So yeah, I'm gonna take the Jags.
All right. Next up, our buttfuck of the week: the Indianapolis Colts head down to Energy Stadium in Houston, taking on the Texans. I believe in Deshaun Watson at this point. Give me the Texans.
Yeah, we barely touched upon it, but holy shit was Richard Sherman. I mean, did everything but just rip open Deshaun Watson's uniform, fall to his knees, and start gagging himself on his cock. I mean, it was almost like if I was on his team, I'd be like, yo, Sherman, you realize that you're not on the same team as this motherfucker, right? Like, he just beat us. Like, I might have had to have a conversation with him. But, having said that, yeah, give me the Texans.
Yeah, definitely give me the Texans. I definitely called Deshaun Watson, a few weeks ago. I definitely think that the Texans are missing a couple of key pieces on defense. Nothing that's going to stop them against the Colts. But, they could be a huge threat if they get, if they had their, whole defense together.
He played Joe the Cop, and that's my mama, Deshaun Watson.
Wasn't Deshaun Watson the guy we were bagging on for skipping his bowl game last year?
I believe so, yeah. Maybe it worked out for him?
I guess it worked out for him, huh?
Butts should have skipped it.
Next up, the Arizona Cardinals heading to Levi Stadium to play the San Francisco 49ers.
Ooh.
You know what? Give me the Niners. I say Jimmy marches in there. He gets himself a W right off the bat. Makes a statement.
Is he playing this week?
Boy, I should probably.
If he doesn't, and 49ers fans are going to be like, what the fuck did we make this trade for? There's nothing else to come out and watch. They better put his ass out there, whether he's ready or not. Have him do cartwheels or some shit. Do kickoffs.
Yeah,
something.
Warm up the crowd.
I'm going to go Cardinals, and I'm going to go Cardinals because I don't think they're going to win. Because I'm not coming up on either of you guys, so I'm so far behind I might as well just do counterintuitive shit and see if it works out. But no, I don't think they're going to win. But to me, if AP is back, if he's back to old form, then he should definitely just have a field day against the fucking 49ers. And if he's able to run like the old AP, there's no reason for the Cardinals to lose, right? So all you AP people who's swinging from his nuts, that's for you. Now, next week we're sitting here talking about a Cardinals loss. I don't want to hear about he's back.
Till you go get a switch.
Exactly.
I'm going to go Cardinals, too. I don't care if AP's back or not. Just the fact that AP's in the backfield is going to have 49ers focusing on the run game, opens up lanes for the passing game. And 49ers this year has proven to be nothing less than a shit show. And I get it. Garoppolo. I told you it was a terrible trade. It is a terrible trade. Everybody's trying to find the formula that the Green Bay Packers had with, hey, we have Brett Favre and his backup Aaron Rodgers, 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Yay. Okay, they tried that over in Indianapolis with Brissett. How's that working for you? My case rests, Your Honor.
Garoppolo. Really? Brissett didn't come up in the system for 3 years. Didn't come up in the same system as Luck did, whereas Rodgers got to sit there.
No, dude, Brissett was he was back up to Brady, dude.
Yeah, on a completely different team. Rodgers was on the Packers the entire time.
Chris, stop
in the same system.
My analysis, fucker.
Learning the whole plays.
Stop it.
What?
Indianapolis tried that.
The analysis is flawed.
They stole Brady's backup.
Try shit. Your analysis is flawed. It's not the same situation.
The actual fuck, dude. Stop it. They stole Brady's backup. It didn't work. Garoppolo, Brady's backup, going to 49ers. Not going to work. It's a terrible trade.
But you had just compared that to Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay before. That's what I'm lost.
What I compared it to was teams trying to find
pick.
The team's trying to find the formula of, hey, we have Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre's backup. So now that we have the GOAT, Brady, well, let's get his backups, and we'll have our Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers was in this system in Green Bay for
I swear to God, I'm going to unplug you. It's the same shit. You're trying to go after the backup.
No, it's not. It's not at all.
Oh, my fucking
Came up in a completely different system under a completely different guy and a completely different coach.
Cardinals.
All right. Next up, the Redskins at Seattle. Give me Seattle. I think the Redskins are falling into the 40-degree day category this year.
I think as much praise as Richard Sherman sang for Watson and the Texans, he's also that pissed off, and I think he's gonna make sure the rest of the team plays up to the standard he wants them to play up to. So give me the Seahawks.
Yeah, as much swinging from his nuts as Sherman did, he intercepted him twice. So, I mean, and Earl Thomas intercepted him. Legion of Boom is kind of back. I mean, they've lost the Legion of Whom moniker, so, and at the same time, Kirk Cousins has gotten comfy with his millions of dollars with his franchise tag, so, yeah, no, definitely going Seattle.
The late afternoon game, Kansas City, going to the Jerry Dome, playing the Cowboys. Yeah, this is a pretty easy one for me. Running backs don't do dick against Kansas City. Throwing the ball doesn't do much against Kansas City. Dallas defense, to quote you, Iceman, from our chat, hot garbage. Give me the Chiefs.
I guess I'm going to be perceived as talking out of both sides of my mouth. I mean, ultimately, I'm going to go with the Chiefs, but I do think that Zeke has to fucking feel that fire breathing down the back of his neck, and it might actually get him to go out there and play out of his fucking mind, because he has gone the fuck off a few times this season. Games he would otherwise been sitting out. So that's the only hope Dallas has. Unfortunately, I don't think it's enough hope for him. So yeah, give me the Chiefs.
I'm going with the Chiefs. It's going to be funny to watch Hunt and Zeke try to compete with each other. Neither one of them is going to make a difference. It is down to defense in this game. And like I said, and like Chris just stated, hot garbage in Dallas. The truth in Kansas City. So, I mean, bam, Chiefs.
And if Zeke doesn't play, this is going to be even uglier. So, we'll see on that one. Next up,
if he gets outran by a rookie, it's going to be really, really ugly.
Oakland at Miami. Yuck. Ugh.
All kinds of yuck.
That's the night game. This, no wonder nobody's watching. I mean, at least flex Kansas City and Dallas into that spot. Jesus Christ. Oakland's it's Cutler going to be back? Let's look. I gotta love this headline. It's the Orlando Sun-Sentinel. Dolphins QB Jay Cutler returns to lead worst offense in football. So Cutler's playing. Give me the Dolphins.
Yeah, I can't go Dolphins, man. Sorry. Just give me the Raiders.
Yeah, it took me forever to decide this game, but you said it. Worst offense in football. There's no way I'm going to pick the Dolphins. I don't care if Cutler's coming back. Ravens, they're heading for a dumpster fire, but they're not there yet. Their defense is more than capable enough than to stop the Dolphins. And, despite the loss and everything, the Carr did hook up with his receivers, Amari Cooper and Crabtree, and did a pretty good job. So, a pretty good job, that's going to beat the Dolphins.
Hey, I'd like to point out the worst offense in football has a winning record. Just put that out there. So let's get into the college game.
Strength of schedule, man. Strength of schedule.
All right, let's get into the college games. We're talking strength of schedule.
Hey, Nick. Hey.
What?
Hey. Monday night.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're actually going to pick that? Yeah, Monday night game. The Lions versus the Packers. Packers are at Lambeau. I don't give a fuck if Aaron Rodgers is playing or not. They're at Lambeau. Give me the Packers.
Yeah, I don't have Iceman's homerism to go behind me. So, give me the Packers.
And because of my homerism, and only because of my homerism, give me the Lions. I feel a little bit better because they don't have Aaron, but get it fucking done. And oh my God, I can't even. Lions.
All right. So now, back to the college. MSU's playing Penn State. I don't give a fuck who's at home. Penn State's winning this game.
Yeah, Penn State.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley. Penn State.
All right. Next up. Battle of two unranked teams. Got to say it while I can. Michigan's playing Minnesota. Who's at home? Is that the big house?
Hold on a sec. That is, yep, they are in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, so give me Michigan.
For the Little Brown Jug. Yeah, give me Michigan as well.
U of M.
All right. So the picks are in for week 8. We almost did it. We're gonna just come up to that 4-hour mark again. If you made it this far, thanks for listening, downloading, for sharing all that fun shit on social media. Make sure wherever you listen to us that you rate us and review us, because that's how you can help other people find out about us if you like it. I mean, hey, we're in the age of the review. I look at reviews whenever I try anything new. Make sure that I'm not getting a bunch of bullshit. That's what you can do for things like this. Help let people know that this podcast isn't a bunch of bullshit. Even though it kind of is a big bunch of bullshit. But thanks for listening. And we will know who has won the World Series by the next time we get together. It's going to 7 games. That developed during this podcast, but it'll already be over by the time this is posted, so we'll catch you next week.
All right, later, guys.
Peace out, y'all.
If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook by searching for Christopher Media. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Thank you in advance for supporting Christopher Media by clicking on the PayPal button and by clicking through to all the sponsors who support ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net, and thank you for listening. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Hey, we get it. You don't want to be hearing a Progressive commercial right now, so let us tell you something you do want to hear. You are powerful. You're a warrior who bathes in your enemy's tears. Then you step out of that refreshing tear bath and into a bathrobe that somehow looks good on you. Yeah, you can pull off a robe. There. Don't you feel better? You'll also feel better when you save money for driving safely with Snapshot from Progressive. Savings you can use to buy more robes. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California, North Carolina, or from all agents.
It's a new year, and with T-Mobile, it's not about how far apart we are. It's about how close we can be. So we're bringing out our best deal. Right now, get the iPhone 12 on us on every single plan with eligible iPhone trade-in.
So I can FaceTime with my sister in Savannah.
That's right, the iPhone 12 on us on every plan. All on America's 5G leader in coverage. T-Mobile.
With 24 monthly bill credits and a new line plus tax. If you cancel credit, stop and balance on required finance agreement may be due. Contact us for well-qualified buyers. Qualifying consumer plan required. See coverage and offer details at T-Mobile.com.